Wow, the Buccaneers have exceeded predictions. So the Buccaneers were supposed to win only 2 games, according to Sports Illustrated. According to some early DraftKings crap, they expected the Bucs to win just 1 game, and now the Bucs are what, 3-1?
Yeah, that's what happens when you have a non-geriatric quarterback.
Good point.
Hang on, say it again.
We have a non-geriatric quarterback.
As opposed to
Tom Brady, who couldn't run around as much and couldn't scramble as much because he was getting so old.
Wait, you're calling Tom Brady geriatric?
I'm just
Roxanne?
being funny.
Yeah, quite neat. No, so listen, Bucks 3-1, top of the NFC South. And the funny thing is, when Sports Illustrated predicted that they would win 1 or 2 games, all of these games were losses.
Yeah.
They specifically picked what 2 games they would win. I don't think any of these were those.
Yeah. This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. All right, so I think that's about the extent of our Bucs coverage.
Yeah, that's it.
Go Bucks.
Can Todd Bowles, can the head coach get any duller, though? Can that guy can Todd Bowles have any less of a personality?
I think a lot of head coaches are like that. I mean, they're either one or the other. They either have a huge personality or they're just wallpaper.
Yeah, the coach of Colorado has no personality. That guy?
Yeah.
None.
Oh,
None.
Talking about Deion Sanders?
Just kidding, Brad. Jam.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Why do you keep doing it? You're ripping off Hal Herman.
No, I'm just trying to do the NFL on Fox guy. All right, so Froggy was in a car wreck over the weekend. Do you guys know about this?
Yikes. I saw it on his story.
Yeah.
It was a rough Saturday night for the kid.
Ugh.
I don't follow Froggy on social media. I have no idea what happened to him.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get into this multiple times this morning. Well, at least maybe one other time later on during the show. But
Nothing really to get into. It was an accident.
right off the bat here, well, your car's undrivable.
Well, yes, that's
Which
true.
car?
My truck, the only car I have.
I don't know. Your family has 2 cars.
His
That's why I
pickup
asked.
truck. Dude, it's his car.
I don't know. I'm asking.
Yeah,
I don't
Froggy's
drive the other one.
Froggy's pickup truck.
I don't know how.
Yeah.
I can't figure out how to start it. It's like a space shuttle.
All right, so Froggy has a Nissan pickup truck. So what happened? Just tell us, try to be as succinct as possible. What happened?
Oh, right now? Well, I got in a car accident.
Yeah, we know that.
Okay. All right. Beyond that, were you?
I was leaving a Popeye's chicken restaurant and somebody leaving a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
Well, wait.
Seriously.
There's dueling chicken fast food drivers.
There's a Chick-fil-A and a Popeye's right next to each other, and I turned out of Popeye's to get in the left lane to turn into my neighborhood.
Right.
And a car stopped in front of a woman immediately, and she stopped and went into the turning lane, and I just drilled her.
Well, hold on. Wait a sec. Start again, please.
It was scary.
I'm trying to get an image of this. Start again. Go ahead.
I was turning out of Popeye's.
And this is on Hillsborough?
Yes. And I was
Near
going to take
Town and Country.
Yes.
All right.
And I was going to take a left.
God, I need to be able to see you.
And I was going to take a left.
Yes.
And as I was taking a left, a woman was trying to get in the left lane in front of me as well behind another car. But for some reason, the car in front of her stopped and hit the brakes really immediately.
Who was on Hillsborough already?
All of us.
So you were already, you said you're turning out of the Popeyes.
On to Hillsborough to take a left.
The storefront's located on Hillsborough
You
Avenue.
obviously
I
don't
know
know the
that.
street.
What?
You don't know. You can't visualize the street.
Well, I know.
And that's okay. You're not a lawyer or a cop.
We need one of those boards with the little magnetic cars.
I've driven on Hillsborough.
Yes, and I was taking a left.
Out of the Popeyes?
No, I took a right out of the Popeyes.
Took right out of the Popeyes.
Right, I'm going like this.
Yep.
Left. Here's when I'm going to come to my neighborhood.
Okay, all right.
And as I'm coming here, this woman was cutting across the street, and another car in front of her stopped, and she went like this to avoid him. She went, ah! And I went, boom!
All right, so it sounds like it was her fault.
No, I mean, it was nobody's fault. It was
hang on. How is it nobody's fault?
I don't know. That's what it turned out to be because both front of our cars were hit, and they investigated for an hour, and chicken was all over my car.
That's the worst
Ruined
part.
dinner. I mean, literally, Sprite and chicken was everywhere.
And nobody got a ticket?
No ticket. Nobody at fault. I thought I killed somebody because they were screaming so loud.
Oh, no.
But who was screaming?
The woman I hit. She was like, ah! I was like, oh, my God. I was freaked out, but all the cops were very nice.
But in the end, nobody was hurt.
No, nobody was hurt. I mean, I'm a little sore. We're here a little bit.
See, that's the best kind of car accident to be in.
Well,
No.
Time to call Pound Hurt.
I don't recommend being in any kind of car accident.
No, you don't want to. But if you had to pick one, that's a better kind.
The one that you don't get hurt
Wait a
in.
minute. I'm
Yes.
trying to figure out. Somebody had to be at fault.
Why don't you have one of the cops call it, man? I don't know what to tell you.
If anything, it sounds like the person who stopped abruptly,
Yeah.
causing the second person to jam her brakes.
That guy like took off.
Yeah,
And he caused an accident.
And he took off?
Yeah, like, dude, and I when I hit her, I was like, oh my God, I got to make a U-turn and get in a safe spot. And I was at the light for a U-turn forever. And I guess this guy thought I was running from the car accident. He comes up to my window and he's like, at the light, he bangs on my window. Hey, we saw what happened. Don't you bleep and run. And I'm like, I'm waiting for the light, asshole. Or, sorry. Dude. I didn't mean to say that.
Dude.
But that's what I said. I go, I'm waiting for the light.
You can't say that on the
Sorry.
air.
He thought I was running because I was trying to get in a safe spot. I almost went to the other lane. I was on top of the median.
I just dumped Froggy. It got dumped from 104.7 FM, the broadcast FM signal.
The guy like straight up threatened me.
And it's still going to be on MJTV, and it's still going to be on the podcast.
But yet he didn't care about the guy who caused the accident.
Is the truck undrivable?
Yes.
Yeah, it's all.
Is it totaled?
Yeah, well, I
don't know.
spoke to Kim because I couldn't get a hold of Froggy. Froggy sends like this text of the front end of his bashed up pickup truck, and then I try to call Froggy, and he doesn't pick up. I finally speak to Kim, who's in Target with horrific cell service, going in and out, in and out, in and out.
That's Target's fault.
Yeah, well, she said that she gets very bad reception inside the Target.
Yes.
And she said that the whole front fender on the right side is all rubbing against the tire. So the vehicle's, I said, can't you just like yank it out?
No, I checked it out, and there's a lot of parts bashed in,
Oh, man.
touching the tire. Kind of
Dude.
sucks.
So your car is undrivable. What about the insurance company? When are they coming out?
I don't know. We have to get it towed.
What
So-
year is that pickup truck?
2014.
Yeah, I think it's time to get a new truck.
No
So
way. I'm going to fix it and keep going.
That might not be worth fixing.
What do you know about my truck?
Well-
I love my truck.
Well, because the whole front right end is kind of bashed in. The whole wheel fender smashed into your right tire. Then there's a whole giant scrape down the whole right side on the passenger side.
The cops were like, can you make it home? And I was like, yeah, it's right there. And I start going, and it was like,
Oh, man.
everything's
Oh,
scraping
no.
on the
Did you have to
street.
get towed home?
No, I drove it home very slowly.
While it was going...
Everybody's looking at me.
Oh, my
With
God.
chicken everywhere.
Oh, it was
Oh,
quite a night. We were able to salvage 2 of the chicken meals. Kim picked them up off the floor. Give them to the kids.
the chicken was thrown on the floor of the truck.
Yeah. Kim walks up to me. She's like, I was able to save some of it.
Oh, my God. All right, so Froggy's excitement over the weekend, a car wreck
Horrible.
on Hillsborough with chicken thrown all
It was
over.
the Great Chicken Wars.
Just getting rolling, folks. Busy day, 6:08 at the MJ Morning Show. We're back in minutes. I still want to assess blame for this accident.
I don't know.
We're going to have to do like an X&O board so I can figure this sucker out. All right, Pat's got traffic. Any chicken accidents?
Still okay around the downtown Tampa area.
just touched something sticky. Ugh. So, usually when I touch when I leave the hallway where the studios are, and I head toward the lobby area to hit the restroom real quick, usually, I walk to that door and it's got like a motion sensor deal that then unlocks the door. And I typically either like put a shoulder into it, or mostly I take my foot because there's like a metal kick plate on the bottom of the door. So I typically just kind of push the door with my foot, but for whatever reason, I touched the door this time and there was a stick.
Oh.
Yeah, like I touched the door and it was like my hand, the normal place where people would actually touch the door, it just was all sticky. It's like, what did I just touch?
Yeah, that's where everybody touches.
Luckily, I was headed to the bathroom, so I was able to wash my hands of whatever stick. I'm telling you, whatever I touched on that door, I think was far worse than whatever happened in the bathroom. That's what I'm thinking.
Might have been something that did happen in the bathroom.
Hey, have you noticed our soap? I've complained about the bathroom supplies because our paper towel about 2 months ago was turned into sandpaper. Right. It's got to be the cheapest institutional garbage toilet paper. It's awful. I'm sorry, a paper towel for the hand drying. So it's terrible. We used to have a nicer, smoother, and they've gone to this rough textured. It's got to be half the price, is what it comes down to.
Remember, I literally made an airplane out of it and flew it. It was so stiff.
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
Oh, perfect.
It's like, you know what it is? It's like the brown paper bags at the grocery store.
Not quite as soft.
Yeah,
a little harder.
The
Not quite as
grocery
pliable.
bags could actually be softer. But the other thing I've noticed, our soap in the dispenser, when it's in, because a lot of times the soap is just out, but our soap, it's got this horrific smell.
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It smells like...
That's what you want from your soap.
It does. Our
smell like
soaps,
ass.
It does. It smells like gooked up, almost like old transmission fluid or something that hasn't been changed or worked on in 190,000 miles.
You know why I know this to be true? Because the one day that I forgot deodorant, I tried to I was going to wash my armpits with that soap, and I was like, I'd rather have my own BO.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You were going to wash your armpits in the ladies' room down the hall with... You're going to wash in the...
That's what I'm saying. I passed. I was like, okay, what's the lesser evil here? My sweaty armpits.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I don't know what's going on, man. The supplies in our bathroom, they did change janitorial companies. So would they go to... You know what? I can't remember the old janitorial company's name, but our new company is CAJ Services.
CAJ.
Anybody?
Crap ass janitorials.
Well, you're pretty close. Cheap ass.
Cheap ass.
CAJ Services is cheap ass janitorial services.
Hire the Three Stooges to clean up around here.
But you've noticed that though, the soap when it comes out of the dispenser, it's like, what is that smell? And it's like some old industrial lube smell.
It reminds me of the gunk that you'd make like paper mache stuff with too.
I don't know if I'd assign that.
I think of paper mache gunk.
It's been a very long time since I've made anything out of paper mache. However, the soap sucks.
Hey, Froggy, I want to address this to you because you're the YouTube channel follower because you follow, I don't know, hundreds of YouTube channels, right?
I do love a good YouTube channel.
How many are you up to now?
Oh, I think I'm getting close to 600. I find a new one every day.
Well, by any chance, do you follow the Classified Goons channel?
Classified Goons? I've
Yeah.
never heard of them. But
Oh,
they
wait a
sound silly.
Wait a minute. Have I found the YouTube channel you don't follow?
I just got into CoffeeZilla. You know who CoffeeZilla is?
I don't know.
Oh, he's a YouTube investigator.
I have no idea who CoffeeZilla is.
Did you hear about the YouTube investigator who bought it over the weekend?
He
What?
bought it?
What?
You didn't hear about the guy in Philadelphia, like the vigilante guy?
No, what?
So there's a guy in Philadelphia who's like he hunts down who he thinks are pedophiles.
Oh,
Are you saying that it's not always sunny in Philadelia?
Not for this guy.
Dude, I follow a bunch of... What channel was that?
I gotta find it again. He walked up to the wrong guy this weekend and he got smoked. I mean, shot.
Ooh.
I mean, I hate to use street lingo. And say
He went up to a guy that he thought was a pedophile?
He got into a confrontation with a couple of teens, and he called the teen the P word, the pedophile, and the teen shot him. One pulled out a knife, the other one shot him.
So he's dead?
Yes, he's dead.
Oh my
So-
God.
So no reason to like and follow now.
The reason why I'm bringing up the story that I have is I've actually been following this, and it's come up numerous times in my news feed, and I had it in the pile last week, but I wanted to run this by you, Froggy. It's called the Classified Goons Channel,
Okay.
and apparently this is quite the scene in the circles of YouTube content creators and those that follow this crap. But back in April, there's a YouTube prank artist by the name of Tanner Cook, 21 years old, and he runs something called Classified Goons Channel. He was shot by a 31-year-old guy by the name of Alan Collie, or Coley. It's Colie. He's a DoorDash delivery dude, and he was shot at a shopping center in Northern Virginia. Now, it happened after Cook, the YouTube prank guy, harassed Collie in the food court at the Dulles Town Center as he was picking up a food order for a DoorDash delivery. And this YouTube guy kept following the DoorDash guy around while videoing him, and he was playing what is described as weird, strange audio from his phone.
What?
He was using Google Translate, and he was using the audio portion of Google Translate, and he was just holding up his phone to this DoorDash guy that's picking up an order, and the dude's phone is just saying, "Hey, dip bleep, quit thinking about my twinkle."
What?
Is that lost in translation?
No, he's, "Hey, dip."
Yeah, I got that
Hey,
part.
dip bleep.
Twinkle.
Yeah, quit thinking about my twinkle.
So did he really write that, or is that you filling in a word twinkle for another
No,
bad
I think
word?
he just was using Google Translate to be
Oh.
able to have the phone say this crazy little
Gotcha.
verse of nothingness. Well, Collie, whatever his pronunciation is, he gets away from this guy, Cook, the YouTube guy, and says, "Stop." Not once, stop. Not twice, stop. Leave me alone. 3 times. And he tries to knock the phone out of this YouTube prankster's hands. This is a public place. It's the Dulles Town Center. It's the food court. DoorDash guy's trying to pick up an order to obviously deliver somewhere, and tells the guy 3 times, "Get away from me." And he's just doing this bizarre thing by having his phone say something just nonsensical like, "Hey, dip bleep, quit thinking about my twinkle." And finally, this thing escalates. So the DoorDash guy says, "Get away from me," 3 times, and then finally knocks the phone away, pulls out a gun, and shoots the YouTube dude in the lower chest.
Oh.
Lower left chest, shoots the YouTube guy.
These pranks are get out of control.
It is. Well, this thing went to court. This thing had its trial last week. A jury found that Collie was not guilty of aggravated malicious wounding. They sided with his claim that he acted in self-defense, that he didn't know what was going on. He was scared. So the social media community, they came out in favor of Collie, the guy that actually did the shooting, the DoorDash guy.
Good.
He has a license in Virginia to carry concealed. And they said, no, they believe that this YouTube guy was harassing him. So the lawyer for the shooter, the lawyer for the DoorDash guy, said that his client felt scared and menaced because the YouTube dude, the 21-year-old, was 6'4", and he was trying to provoke a negative reaction from those that he was harassing.
He got it all right.
Yeah. This guy, Coley, has been pulling all kinds of stunts. The lawyer, the defense attorney for the guy that shot the DoorDash guy, or I'm sorry, the DoorDash guy who
shot the YouTuber.
Shot the YouTuber. His lawyer said that this dude Cook is trying to confuse people and then post these videos, and that his client was absolutely scared. So prosecutor argued that the DoorDash guy who shot the YouTube prankster, that it did not meet the conditions of self-defense. The prank was bizarre, but it was not threatening. That's what the prosecutor tried to say, going after the DoorDash guy that shot the YouTube dude.
Put me on that jury. It sure is.
Yeah, she said the law required that Collie reasonably feared that he was in imminent danger of bodily harm and required that he shouldn't have used any more force than was necessary. So that he did not have to go as far as shooting the YouTube dude. Anyway, the jury sent a note to the judge saying they couldn't agree on whether to convict him. They were sent back several times for further deliberations, and then they finally came out in the favor of
DoorDash guy.
the DoorDash guy. Yep. So the jury split on lesser firearms charges. He was acquitted on the charge of malicious discharge. He was convicted on a charge of shooting into an occupied dwelling. That faces, or he could face a potential 10-year sentence on that one. But Froggy, I just know you're into like a jillion YouTube channels, but you never heard of this one?
No. I don't really follow many prank channels.
Yeah,
a lot
it's
of them are fake.
Classified Goons channel is what it is. You're going to check it out now, aren't you?
They sound silly. I'm already on it.
Yeah. So listen to this. The dude that was shot makes $2,000 to $3,000 a month.
Whoa.
Oh, is that worth it? Is that worth getting shot in the
No.
lower left chest for $2,000 to $3,000 a month?
He's building his empire.
Their YouTube channel is exactly killing it, but
Roxanne, you just went whoa, like you think that's like a mint, like that's a fortune.
No, that was like sarcasm.
Okay.
But I mean, it's not, it's money.
Anyway, folks, think about your victim. Think about who you're targeting. And if you put them in a position where they feel like they're in danger, man, they could shoot you. Just think twice before you do crap to strangers.
yeah.
And think a couple of steps ahead on what reactions might entail.
Like banging on somebody's car that just got in a car accident, accusing them of leaving the crime
Or
scene.
all of these things where how about the videos where they're kicking in people's front doors? Someone's going to get their ass shot off is what's going to happen.
Yeah.
All right, so Froggy, I thought I'd just roll that out for you because I know that you're so much into the whole.
I'm subscribed.
Yeah. Oh,
601.
are you serious?
Yeah, of course.
You've
Check out some of these pranks, these goons.
You've just subscribed, huh?
That's right.
That's very, very exciting. That's excellent.
I thought so.
All right, hey, I've got a great pile. That's sort of a morons in the news story, but I have a real chunk of morons in the news next, folks. So in minutes, we'll roll out a spectacular stack of morons in the news next here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. I encourage you to stand by. Hey, if A phenomenal pile of early morons in the news. Let's do it. 6:42 at the MJ Morning Show here on a Monday morning. Hey, gotta love a teacher getting knocked up by a 17-year-old student, huh? Isn't that a phenomenal, lovely...
Jeez.
Love is grand.
Oh, my God. Out of Louisiana. Yeah, good on her. Yeah, the Louisiana school teacher that was knocked up by a 17-year-old student has resigned. How's the teacher not fired? How are you able to resign? Man, you can't make some of this crap up. Yeah, so a resignation has occurred amid the allegations that she gave birth to a child fathered by a 17-year-old student. Yeah, this is in Louisiana late last week The local parish sheriff's office, Tangipahoa, Tangipahoa.
I think you nailed it. Tangipahoa.
Tangipahoa. I have no
Or maybe
idea.
the G is silent.
I have no idea. Why don't you do some research?
Is that
and
an Indian name?
It's
I've never heard that before.
I've never heard of this. It's some parish in Louisiana, and they received a report of a teacher.
I thought that was the name of the teacher, Tangipahoa.
No, that's the parish.
Oh, I know. I'm
Well,
sorry.
I said that.
You did.
I called it the so-and-so parish.
Get with it, dude.
The local sheriff's office, they get a report. They get tipped off that a teacher has just given birth to a child fathered by a 17-year-old boy at the school. Sheriff Daniel Edwards confirmed the department was looking into the allegations, refused to release any additional information. While we cannot share specific details regarding the investigation, we can confirm the allegations were dealt with promptly, and an investigation is in progress and is rigorous and thorough. Said it's a very time-consuming investigation, but the teacher has resigned. Is there going to be any DNA testing in the future? When you think about that, a high school teacher giving birth to the baby of a 17-year-old boy, a student? Come on, that's
Creepy.
that's a little bit rough, I would say. Hey, what about this? Out of Missouri, woman charged after driving for miles with husband clinging to hood of car.
I mean, don't stop. You can't stop.
How far?
Yeah, miles, several miles is what I have. I don't have like an exact odometer statement.
He's got a good grip.
Yeah. So this is in St. Louis County out in Missouri. Lady's charged with felony assault for driving away from an argument. I guess the husband jumped on the hood of the car and she just kept on driving. Several miles with the husband clinging onto the hood. Prosecutors on Friday charged 38-year-old Stephanie Boyd with first-degree domestic assault and resisting arrest by fleeing. And she had a $100,000 cash bond set. And she's said to have been ordered to have no contact with the victim if she's actually released, if she makes the bond. I don't have any word on whether she did. In a news release, prosecutors said that Berkeley, Missouri police investigated. They showed that Boyd on September 28th, is only a couple of days old, and her husband got into an argument at their home. She then allegedly got in the car to leave and drove off with the husband on the hood of the car.
Okay, so she should not do that. She should stop and let him get off. But why was he jumping on the hood of her car?
Well, listen, a lot of people think that, hey, man against car is an easy win. It's not.
Listen, you put me on that jury. I think I'm siding with the wife. She tried to leave.
Yeah.
She tried to de-escalate the situation, and then he jumps on the hood.
Yeah, wild man jumps in the hood. That's crazy behavior. I'd want to get away from him too.
Yeah, he kind of gets what he deserves on that one.
Why don't she lock up the brakes and send him flying?
Seriously, you could easily get him off.
Hey, I was just searching on my phone here, and I found it. I found a little more information that she traveled 4.6 miles, it was determined, with the husband on the hood of the car.
That's a long distance.
4.6 miles.
How fast was she going?
Yeah.
Did it say that?
She also passed through a construction zone and drove recklessly. So she exceeded the speed through the construction zone.
All right, give her a ticket for that. Fine.
Yeah. An officer, listen to this. You know how she was ultimately pulled over? She passed a police car. The cop sees the cop sees the guy clinging to the hood of the car while she's flying. So that he whips around and attempts the traffic stop, but that Boyd did not immediately pull over and kept fleeing for over a half a mile before she actually pulled over. But they determined that the hubby was. Does that marriage survive? What do you think?
Listen, it's peaks and valleys in
Yeah.
marriage.
Marriage is hard,
There's a lot of passion there.
I think we've all had our relationships ups and downs,
Yeah.
right? All of us, we've had the good times, we've had the bad times. We've had the arguments, we've had the calm, copacetic times. We've had the love. We've had the anger. You know, it's
The
called
songs that remind you of the good times and the songs that remind you of the bad times.
It's just it's called
then-
life. It's
yeah.
called a relationship. But I'm just thinking, in our cases, if Doug was clung to the hood of your car, Roxanne, if I was clung to the hood of Michelle driving, Fester, same with you and I, would our marriages survive that?
Allison's shocks wouldn't survive it, that's for sure.
So Allison drives the Tesla. There's no motor. There's like a frunk area,
even move.
a front trunk. I would
Oh,
fall.
that's what it's called, a frunk?
It's called a frunk. Yes.
A front trunk is a frunk?
Yeah. Well, the trunk is in the trunk, and the frunk is in the front.
I would like to tell Elon Musk that I'm not buying any of his frunkin' vehicles, okay?
I would like to tell him if I jumped on the hood of one of his vehicles, I would fall into the frunk.
You'd be junk in the frunk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I prefer stalemate resentment to climbing on cars in relationships.
Stalemate, can you
And
explain?
resentment. No, I'm just kidding. Like you're talking about all the stages of ups and downs, and
Right.
like nobody's jumping on anybody's car in
Yet.
this room.
So
only been married a year.
there we go, ladies and gentlemen. It's early morons in the news on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, when we get back, I've got a couple of parenting questions. Roxanne, I'd like to roll a couple of.
Oh.
You've got the youngest kids in the room,
Yes.
followed by, I think
'Cause-
Fester and Froggy are pretty close. But no, I've got some parenting questions, which I want to run by really all of you, but I think it might be most. One of the elements might be most applicable to you.
With my young children.
Yes, exactly.
Gotcha.
So, and it has to do with the Tooth Fairy. Okay.
Oh, great question.
So, Tooth Fairy is about to make an appearance here on the MJ Morning Show, so you don't want to miss this at 6:50 here on the MJ broadcast. Hey, some of the companies. MJ Morning Show at 7:01 here on a Monday morning. Welcome to October, folks. What is this? This is October 2nd. So, yeah, yesterday was October 1. You know, some new Florida laws went into effect, which there's one in particular that Fester said, hey, we ought to talk about this. All right, hang on. If I can get to it in this segment, we will. If not, we'll push it to the next segment. First, though, some parenting skills. And I think that, well, Roxanne, you're mostly in the zone because your kids are 3 and 6, right?
Yes.
And then Fester, Hudson, your son is how old?
He just turned 7.
All right, so I don't know if this is still in the repertoire. We'll explain in a minute. And then your youngest, Froggy, is what?
8.
8 years old. Yes, I don't know. So, well, listen, I can ask the question. We'll know pretty quickly. The tooth fairy, I would imagine, plays a pretty big role still in your house, Roxanne. Is that correct?
Oh, she's just started playing a role in our house. We just had our first tooth lost this summer. So.
Oh, that was your 6-year-old?
Yeah, my 6-year-old. She's a little late. She's a little late losing her teeth, but that's fine.
All right.
And so she lost her first tooth this summer, and she just lost another one last weekend. So she's 2 down.
Well, what does the tooth fairy have to do with this morning's show? I'm going to tell you. Do you have trouble? I'm about to bring something else into the conversation, and then we're going to do a merge. You know, like when you merge 2 calls when you conference call. You know, we're going to do a content merge here on the MJ Morning Show. So you call somebody. Oh, hey, let me get so and so on the line, and then you do the conference call. Then it says you want to merge the calls. You have to. Okay. So the tooth fairy, your kids, and losing teeth now.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about brushing.
Okay.
Do your kids brush their teeth well, or are you always on them? Is toothbrushing a fight in your house with your kids?
We just ask them, hey, do you want to have yuck mouth? Do you want to have stinky breath? And usually that will, like, for instance, yesterday, Daviana was really fighting before we left to brush her teeth. And I was like, okay, but your breath stinks. That's no fun to walk around with stinky breath. And then the logic kind of settled in and she went and brushed her teeth. Occasionally she fights me on it. Evelyn really likes to brush her teeth.
All right, before I forget, and then we'll get into why the hell I'm bringing this up. Michelle, this is kind of coincidental. Michelle brought up a story to me, I think it was this weekend. It might have been Friday. I know it was like in the last couple of days. I'm trying to remember. I don't think it matters when it was. But we had an argument with Chloe. When Chloe was little, like 2-3 years old, it was a battle.
Yeah.
Getting her to brush her teeth. And I know that we had several arguments. And Michelle I don't know why this came up, but Michelle reminded me of a story. We were traveling somewhere. We were in a hotel. And we're trying to get Chloe to brush her teeth. Hey, Chloe, I know you're going to hear this on the podcast. And this is a true story. I wonder if you remember this because you had a massive meltdown, Chloe. So a lot of times that kind of stuff is like just ingrained in your head. You know, it's like burnished. So we're in a hotel. I can't remember where we were. And Chloe did not want to brush her teeth. And we're both arguing. Chloe, we can't leave the room. You've got to brush your teeth. She don't want to brush her teeth. Michelle's getting frustrated. I'm getting frustrated. And, we're arguing. And then she's crying. She's like, I don't want you. Just resisting. It's like resisting arrest.
Yes. But when they're resisting a toothbrush, you could accidentally choke them. If you're trying to help them and they're resisting, like you could stab them in the back of the throat with the toothbrush, so it gets dangerous.
That'll teach them.
I don't think the toothbrush goes that far back.
That's what I'm saying. But if they're flailing their head, then you're scared that you're going to injure their larynx.
Let them get impaled once or twice. They'll be fine.
I'm glad you used the word fight or resisting. You just used a different word. What was the word you just used?
Flailing.
Flailing. Yeah, there we go. Flailing. So Chloe was flailing. We're trying to hold her hand and, we're trying to the best we can without, being the subject of a child abuse investigation, trying to get her to brush her teeth. The toothbrush flies out of her hand right into the hotel toilet.
She got her wish.
Oh, my God. Can you imagine then trying to get her to put the toothbrush in her mouth after it flies into the toilet? at a hotel, motel, Holiday Inn.
I would hope you wouldn't try to get her to brush her teeth after that.
Yeah,
Was she off the hook for the rest of the day?
I think that put the kibosh. I think we had to stop at some drugstore and get a new toothbrush because there's no getting that toothbrush in the kid's mouth after it flies out of her hand into the toilet. So here's the deal with the tooth fairy. Let me merge all this together. Guess what? If you have trouble getting your kids to brush their teeth and there could be an appearance by the tooth fairy, guess what?
What?
New psychology. Tooth fairy pays more for cleaner teeth.
Oh, the tooth fairy doesn't want your dingy yellow teeth.
Yeah. So the cleaner, the whiter the teeth, the better scrub those teeth are, the more the tooth fairy digs into the pocket.
That makes sense.
Right.
Well, you paint your teeth white after you pull it out.
Oh, yeah, did a little white out right on it.
Do they still make that stuff? I mean, that's got to be a bad business to be. What do you do? I make white out. I mean,
Whiteout's essential.
wait a minute. But the very few people use typewriters
What do they do
anymore.
with the typewriter?
I saw somebody a couple of weeks ago using the old liquid, like nail polish looking whiteout.
Liquid paper. Yeah, liquid paper or whiteout or whatever.
Like, look at you. Keeping them
Hold
in
on.
business.
Using it for what?
And then every time you write over it, the pen goes through it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like your pen is like in like mud.
It's
It's like
just-
white mud. It's like
Worst invention ever.
no. Well, it had to be a thin coat, and you had to blow on it to dry it.
And then even when it went over what you type wrote, you still had to do like, say you had to mess up a G to get it deep into the whiteout, right?
Yeah, it was like no. By the time you got done with that stuff, sometimes if you didn't apply it properly, it was like you were making like a footprint letter in the snow. You know,
I'd make a big mountain of it.
All right, so Fester, who the hell was using whiteout in the last? What'd you say? Last week?
I think I was the last couple of weeks. I think I had a doctor's appointment or something. And I'm there, and
What, they're using an old IBM Selectric typewriter?
they had a form. It wasn't my form, but it had like a document, and they just whited something out and blew on it. And
Well, you know what? I guess you can white stuff if you need to write over something.
Yeah.
You can also not just
Yeah.
type, you also
We
write
used to
over.
use it in school
Yeah.
for pen and stuff. But
Anyway, so what do you think about that psychology that brush your teeth because the tooth fairy doles out more coin if your teeth are cleaner?
That makes perfect sense because what does she do with all those teeth?
Yeah, it's being called the genius hack. So if you're having trouble with your kids and brushing, and your kids are on the younger side and they're going to lose teeth, and you got the whole tooth fairy thing coming on.
So the tooth fairy builds her kingdom with the teeth and their walls and turrets of her fairy castle. So she doesn't want dingy yellow.
Well, that sounds creepy. That sounds like a serial killer keeping trophies.
Yeah, right.
What are you kidding me? How about lampshades made out of human skin? How about like Ed Gein up in Wisconsin?
ugh. That's a big tooth.
Hold on. Where did you get this? The tooth fairy builds her castle out of kids' teeth?
Yes, I just Googled it.
Are
That's
you?
what she
I
does
never
with them.
heard that.
that was in the back of my head.
That
and
is
I'm
like a
yes.
grotesque serial killer
I think
element.
Ed Kemper believed in that as well.
Yeah, did he?
Yeah. It's in the interviews,
Oh,
the
my-
Ed Kemper interviews.
Oh my God.
Mommy used to
Roxanne.
tell me they made it out of teeth.
Jeez. And while we're talking about parenting, just a couple of other issues here. You give your kids melatonin to
No,
sleep?
I don't.
Yeah, that's
know.
there's like further warnings about that nearly half of American parents actually give their kids melatonin to knock them out, but the warnings continue.
Well,
that-
I feel like
yeah.
they have enough of that. Their young bodies are hopefully healthy and producing that.
I read something else recently about melatonin, and that despite warnings that most parents should not give their kids melatonin if it's prescribed, if it's like kind of doctor recommended, and you've got like a course that you should follow doctor's instructions. But just buying melatonin off the shelf at Target or Walgreens or something, you might want to knock it off.
Yeah,
Because-
just use cough syrup.
Yeah, why?
But you realize that I saw some stats that over the last 10 years, 4,000 kids were hospitalized because of like melatonin overdoses or reactions to melatonin.
Well-
Some kids couldn't breathe. They had to be hooked up to machines to breathe because of the melatonin.
My
Well-
kids fall asleep at night because they're tired.
Yeah, the same with me.
Yeah.
I mean, when I put my head on the pillow, I am out within usually, I think if you ask Michelle, it's probably 3 minutes.
Yeah.
When I go to bed at night, I put my head down and I'm not counting sheep. I'm not, all Jimmy leg restless. I'm going to bed. I mean, I'm
Well, you're
out.
lucky. I need to watch a good alien documentary or something before I go to bed.
Really?
Out like a freaking light. And then one other thing here before we move on. We're about to start an hour and 20 minutes nonstop MJ in just a few minutes here. And we got to get into Froggy's car accident. We talked about it about an hour ago at the very opening of the show, but I want to get into more detail. And Froggy, I think the consensus in the room is that you're going to get sued.
Oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah. So Froggy was in a car wreck.
Maybe we shouldn't talk about it.
Well, no, I think we should. And you know what? I think you
I'm
need,
not going to get sued.
I think you need to sue first. No.
I'm not suing anybody.
No. You're going to get sued.
Okay,
Oh,
great.
Trust me.
Great.
You're
Not a way to put that out in the universe. Jackass.
Dude, we're trying to help you.
No,
Listen,
I don't think that's helping.
you were out of the room you were out of the room, right? And then we had a discussion in here. And
we as two people.
the consensus is that you're going to get sued.
Okay, well,
All
don't
right?
annoy me with this.
We're not. We're trying to help you.
I'm not going to get sued.
All right, hold on. And then I had one other thing here. You know what? I'll tease it, but I want a little more time here. If you overprotect your kids, right? If you coddle your kids, it does this, and they could turn into big boom, boom, fatty baladdies. All right, so this seriously, this is really, really important. If you do this to your kids, Fester, I want to know if this happened to you.
It's fatty boom baladi.
Whatever
You've
it
got
is.
a whole syllable.
All right, whatever. All right, now we'll get to that when we get back. If you're doing this to your kids, you could be doing your kids a very big disservice, and you could cause them to become overweight. We'll explain in a minute. And then Froggy's big car crash. Big accident over. His car is undrivable.
Do you have pictures?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He sent me a whole bunch of pictures. We can post those up on
You can? I don't think I gave you permission.
You sent the pictures.
You sent me the pictures.
You forfeited your rights.
You what?
I have a feeling you guys are going to annoy me
Did you
next
say
segment.
you forfeited your
He
rights?
forfeited his rights.
All right, hang on. Quick break. Folks, we got a lot to deal with next. Don't move. We're back in minutes. An hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. we go. Hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ starts right now. 7:25 here on a Monday morning. First, though, Fester, now, I don't usually use this term. You do, and, well, you're not the picture of sveltness, but you have repeatedly used the term, and you chastised me a few minutes ago for using it improperly, or I didn't pronounce it properly. What is the actual term, please?
All right, you said like fatty boom batty, and that's not it. That's not it.
Yeah.
The term is a fatty boombalatti. You got to have the extra boomba in there
Now,
to make it funnier.
I don't use this in my normal travels as far as, vernacular nomenclature. It's not typically in my lexicon.
Oh, no, I use it all the
All
time.
right? So, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I brought it up because Fester brought this up, and I'm curious because, and listen, I don't want to dig up, repressed memories. Well, I'm sure they're not repressed, but I don't want to bring up childhood difficulties, but you were always sort of a
Stockier boy.
Is that the way to put it?
Didn't your grandpa duct tape the fridge
He
shut?
duct taped the fridge shut with that.
See?
Back when duct tape only came in silver, he just
Enough of this.
get out of the fridge.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Your grandfather duct taped the fridge closed so you
Yep.
couldn't eat?
Back at the old house in Johnson Place in Lindenhurst, New York.
Got to put a stop to this somehow.
Listen, you got to watch that kid, Larry. He's going to grow up to be a tub.
Did he really?
Something like that.
A tub.
Kid shouldn't eat that much. That's not right.
Now, I used the word or term improperly. I said, what did I say?
You said something like fatty boom batty.
Or boom blatty. Blotty or something. Yeah, you said something weird.
And Fessa, the actual term that you use all the time is fatty boombalatti?
Yeah, you got to get the boomba in there.
Boomba.
Boomba.
Because it kind of...
Boom, ba,
Right,
boom,
yes,
ba,
yes.
boom, ba,
Boom,
boom,
So,
ba.
well,
Yeah.
somebody on the pudgier side, a little fatty boombalatti.
All right, the reason why I'm bringing this up is parents, are you causing your kids to be heavier than they should be? Because I found this kind of fascinating, that if you're too overprotective of your chillins, if you coddle your kids, that tends to kill the amount of exercise that they do, and therefore adding to their weight. So let me simplify this.
Define coddle.
If you're an overprotecting parent, if you're like a helicopter parent, you're always hovering, you're always afraid, oh, you're going to get hurt, you're going to get... We've known these parents that just don't let their kids... Listen, you don't want to let your kids run across I-4, obviously. You don't want to give your kids a whole bunch of knives to play with, obviously.
All good parenting tips right there.
I did that the other day, by the way.
You gave your kids knives? What are you,
No.
Britney Spears?
Not exactly.
They
That's another
prop that.
story. We had a knife issue in my house the other day. But go ahead.
Okay.
What?
Write that down. Write that down for later.
You had a knife issue in your house?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't see how
Yes.
we could ignore
All right.
that now.
Anyway, listen.
Holy cow.
The bottom line is stop coddling your kids. Letting them take reasonable risks when they play has a positive effect on the amount of exercise that they get. So there's new research that shows that overprotecting parents, they kill the amount of exercise that kids get. And if you let the kids just run, be free, let kids be kids within reason, like I said, you don't want to give them power tools to play with at age 6. You don't want to give them like a whole load of dangerous chemicals to play. But you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but when I was a kid, we used to be able to ride our bikes down to a fort that we made like 7 blocks away. You can't do that. You can't let your kids just ride bikes now. They'll get kidnapped.
I know, it's crazy. And I remember we've had this conversation many times. We've done it on the show. I've had this conversation with my lovely wife, Michelle, that when I was a kid, hey, we were just in Virginia Beach over the weekend. We moved to Virginia Beach when I was 10 going on 11. But then even before that, up in Nanuet, New York, we used to ride our bikes everywhere. I'm talking after school, 6, 7 years old.
Everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
I'd be gone for hours.
Hours.
Wherever.
We'd get home from school at like 3:30 or something. We wouldn't show up until the sun went down. Yeah. And the conversation turned. Yeah, we used to come back like dinner's on the table. We didn't have cell phones back then. Nothing.
We had the neighborhood alarm. John Deutsch, his mother, Johnny boy. Are
you serious?
Like at 7:30, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Mrs. Deutsch is yelled, time to go home.
In Virginia Beach, across the street from us, Scott Greenhalgh.
Yeah.
His mom had the dinner bell. She had a triangle.
What do you live on a farm?
Like she was in 4th grade, like music class. Scott Greenhalgh. You know what? We never knew how to pronounce his name. It was like Greenhalgh. It was Greenhalghe. I mean, we had no idea. To this day, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that name right. But Scott Greenhalgh, his mother used to come out on the side porch with a triangle, like held by a string, with a little dinger, and go ding, 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 ding.
She screamed, "Come and get it."
She started, yeah, come and get it.
It's like, what year
But
is this?
the point is that, hey, Fester, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
How old were you when you guys left Lindenhurst, Long Island, New York?
11?
Okay. Oh, so about the
Yeah,
same. So you moved south about the same age that I did from New York. And you guys disappeared for the whole freaking afternoon.
Gone.
Gone.
We'd get in all kinds of trouble. I would never think of letting my kids. I don't let them go too far out of my sight.
But the bottom line is, listen to this. Be very careful with your kids, obviously, but not too overprotective.
Right. I used to ride my bike with Meredith Murphy, and we would go to this creek, and it was so I'm sure it was completely infested with water moccasins, but we just go play in the creek on our bikes.
And probably like brain-eating amoeba.
Yes, totally.
Yeah, probably climb up your nose and then start eating your brain away. Yeah. What was her name?
Meredith Murphy.
Where's she now?
Great number.
I don't know, but her dad's name was Mike, and I'll never forget it.
What's her name again?
Her name is Meredith.
Hey, Froggy, see if she has an OnlyFans page.
Meredith Murphy.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Her
She has
dad.
a good news day.
I'll never forget it. We were playing at
Hold on. You saying that she has a good news name?
Meredith Murphy with traffic.
Hey, maybe she could join Hal Herman.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Tonight at 6, Hal Herman
Yeah.
and Meredith Murphy.
Yeah, hang on a minute.
Whammo News.
Yeah. Now, it's Channel 10 Eyewitness News with Hal Herman and Meredith Murphy.
Wow, there's a
And
lot of Meredith Murphys.
Fatty Boombalatti with weather. And Johnny Crotch with sports. This is Channel 10 Eyewitness News at 11. All right, so
I'm
where
glad
were
they
we?
hired Johnny Crotch back
Johnny Crotch.
after the incident.
After the incident.
They don't call him Crotch for nothing.
That's a good name for something, Johnny Crotch.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Terrible name.
It's a good
That's a good
band
name.
name.
Bottom line is, kids are at the playground. You know, what we had our kids, and we'd go to the playgrounds there was this playground the kids liked on Beta Bay. It's still there, and I drove by with the kids over the summertime, and they were amazed. Daddy, that's the same playground gear that we played on, 15, 18 years ago. I'm like, damn right it is. Same stuff. The colors might have been a little brighter. It's been bleaching in the Florida sun. But you've seen the parents that are constantly up their kids' butts at the playgrounds. Oh, stop running. You're going to get hurt. Oh, don't do that. Within reason, leave your kids alone, because your interference, according to research, is going to cause your kids to gain weight and be heavier. So stop coddling, stop the overprotection, let kids be kids within reason, and the research says that your kids are going to be in better shape. All right, I am so thrilled. Guys, we're making $1 more an hour here on the MJ Morning Show as of Saturday.
What, minimum wage go up?
Yep.
Nice. It's about time we get a raise.
Yeah, Florida minimum wage went up on Saturday, went up $1.
What is it now?
$12 an hour.
Jeez, it was $4.45 when I was at Publix.
I think the first job I took at Arby's, it was $3.80 an hour.
When I first had a job, 1982, I think it was $2.85 an hour.
Wow.
Yes.
God, I can't believe it's tripled.
It was like
mine.
$2.85, and then I remember at one point it was like $3.35 an hour minimum wage. This would have been in Virginia. But good news, folks. Minimum wage is up $1.
$12 an hour? Really? That's the number?
Yeah, so listen, do the math. I'm making $4 more a day now.
Nice.
Yep. $4 more a day doing the MJ Morning Show.
$20 more a week.
I'm excited. Froggy, I want to give you a phone number. Can you write this down, please?
Sure.
Pound Hurt.
Pound hurt. Okay.
Pound HURT. That's the number for.
I can't find a pen. Oh.
It's the number for the Kemp. Well, I think you can remember Pound Hurt. So Pound Hurt is the number for the Kemp Law Group. Folks, Froggy was in an accident. We spoke about this at the very onset of the show today, right at the beginning at 6 o'clock. We talked about Froggy's accident. And in the meantime, Froggy has drawn a diagram and I'm holding this up to MJ TV.
That's the worst
That's
diagram.
exactly what happened.
But Froggy did a good job explaining this. Now, Froggy was in a wreck on Hillsborough. Froggy was pulling out of a Popeye's fried chicken.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
Son of a...
Do we ever love it?
Oh, man. So Froggy explained the situation on the air, and I had a hard time visualizing it, so I had Froggy do this little...
Is that Exhibit A?
Drawing. This is Exhibit A, absolutely. I would like to enter this into evidence, Your Honor.
For ass hat?
Yeah, Exhibit A for ass. Froggy, as you described this to me, you were in your lane of travel, and a lady just plows into your side. I don't know how it's not her fault. And then, wait a sec, guys. There's a little complication here because Froggy kind of knows the woman that plowed into him on Hillsborough. This happened on Saturday or Sunday?
Saturday night, like 7:45.
Oh, man.
I'm pretty sure the first and last name match up, so if that's any indication.
Wow. Froggy, explain to the audience that did not hear the initial explanation first thing this morning. Saturday night, you guys are having a big Saturday night dinner, which consisted of takeout from Popeyes, I hear.
Right.
That's a good dinner, man.
That's
right.
Yeah,
All right. So you were getting dinner for you, Kim, and the kids, right?
That's right, yes. And I was going to get Popeyes.
Now, Fester brought up Google Maps and Google Street View, so I am literally looking at the exact spot where it happened. Now, were you pulling out of the parking lot, or were you pulling out of a side street? Oh, it looks like it's all parking lot there, right?
I was pulling out of the parking
All right,
lot.
so hold on. Look at this pic. Were you pulling out of which one? You pulling out of that one?
Am I at the right Popeyes?
Yeah, that's it, right?
Yes.
All right, so hold on. But grab Fester's mic. Where were you pulling out of this egress or the other egress?
The one over here.
Just talking to the microphone.
The one over here?
Talk it.
That one.
Which one?
Where that guy is walking.
Oh, you're that one right there. All right, explain. Go back to your microphone.
I think, is that the right one? I don't know.
All right, go back to your
Is
microphone.
that Hillsborough Avenue?
Yes, it is Hillsborough. Go back to...
Tell me what you do.
Well, we're going to talk about this because, folks, and I'd like to grab some phone calls on this.
I wonder if any witnesses can call up.
Froggy, explain exactly what happened. Froggy's truck is wrecked. Froggy's truck is not drivable because the front right wheel well is all caved in. So the front right, it's all like jammed into the tires. And how'd you drive home? That must have been
close.
Like a horrific scraping noise because you were a half mile away from home, right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. A little sparks here and
Saturday
there.
night, 7:45. Explain what happened.
I got the chicken and I pulled out to turn right to start going towards my neighborhood.
And were you singing?
Love that chicken from Popeye.
I was enjoying the
Yes.
Saturday night dance party with Gino on the air, rocking out. And so I'm going in the left lane, and all of a sudden, a woman pulls out of the Chick-fil-A parking lot, which is a little ways down.
Right.
And she is behind another car, and they're going into the left lane. But then as she's going, I guess this car stopped in front of her immediately
Yep.
for some reason. So she was like, oh, and swerved out of the way like that into where we met like
But
that.
she hit you. Here's the problem, folks. Nobody was ticketed.
It was investigated by the police. There was like 8 of them there.
I realize that. So there was a full traffic investigation, but from what is being described to me, Froggy, you were in your lane of travel for a good clip of time.
Yeah, so what am I supposed to do? I mean, they did it. They investigated everything.
You're in the left lane already, and you're progressing straight, and she comes out of Chick-fil-A a little further down the road and then clobbers your front right passenger side front end. I mean, how's that not her fault? I don't understand why she wasn't ticketed.
She was a very nice woman. I felt bad.
I'm sure she's a lovely person.
Guess what? We have a couple of complications here. Froggy says that the woman's son is on their kid's soccer team.
I believe that's the case. We have a game tonight, so
you can talk about it.
Yeah.
Someone said just because no one was cited doesn't mean no one was at fault. She should have been cited under 316.123.
That is correct. So
What?
I actually have that right. Someone else sent me. Someone texted me that. Where did you get that?
I got texted.
Yeah. So I got texted as well that Florida statute 316.123 failure to yield.
Sounds like a bunch of made-up numbers.
4, 7, 8,
123.
No, that's real. It's Florida statute 316.123 is failure to yield in the Uniform Traffic Code. And Froggy, I'm just having a hard time realizing how you were at fault if you're in the left lane.
I wasn't at fault.
Nobody was cited. There's no
I
fault.
realize that, but
At
she,
Florida, no fault. They say yes. Remember that commercial?
folks, if you want to weigh in on this, any thoughts? Any police, traffic investigators, any cops on duty, off duty, retired?
It's a fight. It ended up fine.
Hold on. Any insurance adjusters? Now, you were out of the room, I don't know, 40 minutes ago. You were out of the room, and Fester said to me, in all seriousness, Froggy's going to get sued. So, Fester, why are you convinced that Froggy's going to get
That's a way
nailed?
to put that idea out there. That's really smart of you.
I believe in every traffic accident. There's, especially in this town, there's a lot of accidents in this town, and you're just gonna get sued.
Okay,
she's gonna call a representation, and they're gonna send your insurance company. They're gonna sue you for whatever your insurance is for. What do you have? You have about the 10-20 minimum.
What do you say? Whatever your insurance is what?
Well, like whatever your insurance limits are, they're going to go after that first.
I was trying to figure out the word you said. I just didn't understand
whatever
what you
your
said.
insurance is for, whatever
okay.
whatever amount you carry on your insurance.
All right, folks,
But he's not at fault.
So what? What can I do?
It doesn't matter.
Froggy wasn't issued a ticket. The woman wasn't issued a ticket. But the way Froggy describes this, I don't know how it could not have been her fault when Froggy is going straight ahead in his lane of travel, and she comes from Froggy's side and rams her front end into Froggy's front end in a perpendicular fashion while Froggy's going straight. I don't get it. Folks, if you want to weigh in on this, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. If you're an insurance adjuster, if you work for an insurance company, if you have any insight, I don't know what you do now. I mean, obviously, you guys, the accident was cleared. No tickets were issued. For you legally.
Nobody got medical attention or nothing?
Did you exchange information?
Well, Froggy said that he's a little sore, though. Now, where are you sore?
I'm not sore. I feel 100%.
No, I thought you said that your stomach or...
No, I mean, just probably from the seat buckle.
Yeah,
or
that's what
something.
you told me that.
That's an injury.
That
Yes.
was one day. No, I'm fine. I don't have any injuries.
But you said that not only is the car cracked up on the outside, and by the way, I put pictures up. I'll talk about that in a second. So the car's cracked up on the outside, but you said that Popeyes went flying all over the place?
There's a little bit of a chicken smell still, but
all right, she's
You
gonna
said
sue.
you said you had flying fried chicken and Sprite.
Fetcher,
Right?
do you want her to sue me?
She's gonna. I don't want her.
What
to
do you know?
I know that if I were in a car accident with a lower level local celebrity, I would sue.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You're really helping.
A low-level local celebrity.
Or would you? Because you're going to get all rung through the ringer on air.
Oh,
Does that
look at the
make sense?
phones.
Yeah.
Look at Sheila and Kim. Hang on a minute.
You need to get some kind of representation.
Yeah. I need
You
to
need to call Kemp Rouge. We need to get Stacey Kemp on the line. I swear.
I think I'll be all right.
You don't understand.
Let me tell you what's happening right now.
What?
Is you're pissing me off?
I'll tell you what's happening right
and
now.
you're pissing me off.
That lady's
and I'm
meeting-
going to go home.
That lady's meeting with her attorney right
Yeah,
now. That's what's
guys,
happening right now.
Stop saying stuff like that.
I'm gonna
It was
go
a
home.
fender bender.
It's what? Oh my God! Are you people delirious? This is what happens when you get into accidents.
All right,
no,
now
that's what you have insurance for. I'm not worried about it.
Phones are loaded already. 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047.
But I will warn you, you guys are annoying me to the point where I'm going to leave. Okay?
What are you talking
I don't blame
about?
him.
Leave and go to a
Hold on,
lawyer's
why
office.
are you egging him on, for Roxanne?
Well,
Because
Fetcher's like out there saying I'm going to get sued, basically putting the idea in her head like a stupid fat asshole.
Do you think she's sitting there?
I just dumped that.
I'm leaving.
No, Froggy,
Leave.
no, you got to hear the phone
No,
calls.
I don't
Froggy,
care.
no, hold on.
I don't
just,
give a- I don't care.
Just stay.
I don't
Stay.
care.
No, Froggy.
I-
No, Froggy, we're taking. Froggy, come here. This is important. Oh, my God. He just walked out.
Listen, I'm not wrong.
Froggy, come here.
Okay,
Dude.
Froggy can't have an adult conversation about him getting into an accident.
So-
I think you guys are wrong.
So
I told you during the break.
Hold
not
on.
to do
Why
that.
are we wrong?
Because it's not the way to handle it.
Handle
It's
what?
one thing. It's one thing if we say in the room off air if Fester says that. It's another to turn it into a public discussion.
I'm on Froggy's side. I don't know how Froggy was not 100% cleared and the other woman ticketed. Nobody was ticketed. All right, the pictures, look at the phones. Every line is jammed, and Froggy just fled. Like he fled the scene of the accident.
Right?
All right.
He'd have been better off fleeing the scene.
800. Andrew wants to know what he's driving. He's driving Kim's car, and Kim's parents are on vacation, and their car's at Kim's house. So Kim's going to use the parents' car. Froggy's car is inoperable. He was able to limp home a half mile away from Popeyes because the front right wheel well is all caved into the tire, and it's all dragging. So he did drive like a half mile home.
If Froggy doesn't want to have a real conversation about this, why did he even tell us in the first place he was in an accident?
All
What
right,
do you
I'm going
think
to
was gonna
grab
happen?
Sheila's up first, then Kim, Sharon, Mark, Drew, Pam, and everyone else. Hold on. If you're on hold on. We'd like to get Froggy. I'm trying to help you. The images, by the way, if you want to see Froggy's vehicle, listen, it's not like a mangled, ball of metal where you can't tell even what brand vehicle it is, but the whole front right is tweaked. The wheel well's caved in.
They're going to total it out.
There's a whole, it might be totaled.
I mean, how much is a 2014 Nissan worth with 100,000 miles?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't think
much.
a lot.
Not much.
So if you want to see the images of Froggy's vehicle, they're on my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. I think there are 7 or 8 photos right now. Go to Certified MJ Radio, and while you're there, give me a follow. If you don't follow, give us a follow. Certified MJ Radio, see Froggy's vehicle. And if you're not on IG, we've posted the link on our website. So if you go to mjmorningshow.com, just click on As Heard on the MJ Morning Show, and then you'll see the headline about Froggy's accident. Let's go to phones. We'll start with, and then turns out the woman who smashed into Froggy, her son is on Froggy's kids' soccer team. So they have a game tonight, and they're going to see each other.
So everything's going to be fine, and they have some sort of communication and same circles they're in. Everything's going to be fine.
no.
what rosy world are you guys living in right now?
I'm not living in any
Not
rosy
you,
world.
but between Roxanne and Froggy, yeah, maybe everything will work out, but you got to prepare yourself.
Oh, Sheila in St. Pete. Hey, Sheila, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning. Okay. The lady that hit Froggy really isn't at fault. It's the person who made her swerve that's at fault.
Well, and Froggy, if Froggy were here, Froggy told us earlier when we first kind of did a cursory explanation at 6 o'clock in our opening segment, Froggy said the other driver fled. So the driver that actually was the somewhat cause of the accident, they left. They were unscathed. They were not hit. But apparently that vehicle caused the woman to drive into Froggy. But still, I don't see how she was not cited. So go ahead, Sheila.
Well, because apparently when they did the investigation, they figured that it wasn't really her fault that she had to swerve. So, and since the other person wasn't there, he would have been cited had he been there.
Listen, I understand in principle, but again, it would help Froggy much more if there was a citation and he was not cited. So what happens now? Insurance companies just, they fight it out? They argue?
Now that's called lawsuits.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way things will get solved.
Right. So do you think that there should be litigation here, Sheila?
Absolutely.
And you think what should happen?
I think it's...
Uh-oh. I think she was just broadsided. Oh, Sheila. Here we go.
Oh, no.
Oh. Sheila, you there? We lost Sheila in St. Pete.
Well, I think what it said on her little blip there is it said Froggy should sue, and I just want to say
Yeah, well, explain what a little blip is on the call screen.
On the call screen.
Yeah, she thinks that Froggy should sue.
But here's the thing. It sounds like at the end of the accident, everyone was okay and everyone went home and they're going to see each other tonight at soccer. And you know what? We should not encourage this being such a litigious society. This is not an accident where anyone was injured.
Roxanne,
Accidents happen. Go home, get your insurance to cover it. Go about your life.
Roxanne, I'm not encouraging anything. I think Fester and I are just talking about reality.
That's just
here.
the world you live in.
Yeah, I don't know. You're living in fantasy land. I mean, at Disney or something.
There are thousands and thousands of dollars in automotive damage here that an insurance company is going to pay for and want to be reimbursed by suing Froggy's insurance, and they're going to fight it out, and it's going to be a mess. His rates are going to go up. It's going to suck.
Kim in Clearwater. Kim, you're on the MJ Morning. Hey, Froggy, if you're in the car now, could you call us up or call?
He's
come
not going
back.
to call you.
Froggy, come back. I can't believe I'm begging Froggy. Froggy, get back in the studio.
He's bringing this up.
Froggy left.
Yeah, he's bringing it up, but you guys are taking it to a new level of invasiveness.
Kim in Clearwater. Hi, Kim.
Hi. So, as far as what the previous caller said, what they're going to say about the one car being at fault is that she still should have been in control of her car. She should have been prepared for something to happen. But what I wanted to tell you was my husband was in an accident this past year in January. He had made a right-hand turn onto Almerton, was halfway down the road, and this lady had made a left-hand turn and then cut across all lanes and hit him and knocked him up into the curb, knocked the whole front bumper off the van, everything. Neither person was cited, and she did, in fact, as Fester said, turned around and tried to sue us for damages. Our insurance company investigated, so did hers. They decided that he was not at fault, she was, and her claim was turned down. She then turned around and got Kemp Rouge and Green and sued us for medical. And our insurance company, rather than letting us take it to court, they just went ahead and paid her. So my insurance rates went up, and she got her money, and we're screwed with a van that's missing the whole front end of it.
Well, listen, I only care about Froggy at this point. I don't care about the soccer mom on Froggy's kids' soccer team because apparently they know each other, or I don't think they talk. But Froggy recognized her as being a mother of a kid on Froggy's kids' soccer team. Froggy just needs to protect himself. Froggy's freaking out. Froggy ran out of the studio like a little baby. Fester and I are trying to look after Froggy's best interests here.
And you're both absolutely right, because she can, in fact, turn around and sue him. And like I said, this lady got it because Progressive didn't want to fight with her. And I even went to the gas station that the accident happened in front of. Yep. They had video surveillance of the street and everything, and our insurance just went ahead and settled.
Thanks for the call, Kim.
That's right. I bet you Chick-fil-A has footage.
Oh, yeah. Well, there'll be some surveillance video. That's
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Peter in Valrico. Peter claims he's an attorney. Peter, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys. How you doing?
Doing well. So you've heard the story. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think Fester's a little bit aggressive. I don't know if not every accident results in a lawsuit. It does appear that the lady would have violated Froggy's right of way. It does go to the insurance companies. The insurance company does make a determination as to whether Froggy was at fault or the other person was at fault. Most likely they're going to find that the other person was at fault. They're going to deny the claim. Her insurance company is going to pay for her damages. Froggy's will pay for his damages. And, that's essentially it. Not every accident results in a lawsuit, especially since March. The law has changed to make it a little bit more difficult for these types of frivolous lawsuits to pursue. It doesn't mean she can't, but the likelihood that she would prevail is pretty low.
Okay, so
There you go.
what kind of defensive action should Froggy take to protect his own interests?
Yeah, other than fleeing the studio and punishing us.
No, the only thing that Froggy does is he notifies his insurance company. His insurance company has a duty to defend Froggy, so they'll provide him with legal counsel should it be necessary.
Thanks for the call, Peter. All right, let me just blow through a couple more calls, then we got to move on. Phones have blown up. Sharon in Tampa. Sharon, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Good morning.
Hey, Sharon, go ahead.
So this happened to me on Kennedy. I was going straight down Kennedy, and all of a sudden a truck that was in the left turn lane to turn down Armenia decided he didn't want to turn and just cut right over. And next thing you know, it felt like my whole car was tilting over. So we pull off the side, and the guy gets out of the car and he goes, "Oh, it's your fault, it's your fault." And I have to say, the AQC is my fault.
So what happened? What was the final outcome here?
He never got a ticket. It was his fault, but he never got the ticket.
Thanks for the call. Drew in Parrish. Now, Drew says he's a retired police officer. What is he on line 5? Drew, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning. Retired police officer with 26 years experience from up north. First off, I'd like to read, it's a little premature to talk about this because we don't have the police report. You're going to get her statement, you're going to get his statement, and you're going to maybe get a witness if somebody saw something. So that's the first part. The second part is the physical damage, where the damage debris might be. The other caller that talked about lawsuits, there's not going to be any lawsuits unless there's an injury. And it's hard to say, but I'd like to see what the statements were.
Listen, I'm just guessing this woman's going to have some rib pain. Her neck's going to be bothering her. She can't fall asleep. I'm thinking the worst because so many people are litigious these days, you know?
Yeah, but I wouldn't worry about the ticket so much because they have some time to issue the summons here. It might be 30 days from a traffic incident. I don't know who investigated. Probably the highway patrol because that's all they do is crashes.
It was county.
I wouldn't worry too much.
He said sheriff's office responded.
Thank you, Drew. Appreciate it. All right, 2 more, and then I got to move on. Maybe we should call Kim.
If you want to make another Kuzmano mad today, please do.
I'm not going to make a Kuzmano. We're looking out for the Kim and Froggy family.
Let's piss off the whole family while we're at it with reality.
Pam's in Valrico. Hey, Pam, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Yep.
I'm not going to go into all the traffic accidents I've been in.
Wait a second. Wait. Pam, Pam, how old are you?
Up there.
All right, Pam, how many car accidents have you been in? Give me a number.
I've been in several, and here's the thing. All right, so I'll just really quickly. The last one I was in, I was at a stoplight with my patient, got hit by a truck, and then he bounced off us, hit us again, and then we were hit by a third truck. Now, this is... Oh, I know, no, bad luck. I've worked.
All right, don't ride with Pam.
Yeah, really,
yeah,
right?
Well, no. Sitting at a stoplight, you can't even be any slower. Anyway, but this is what happens. This is what I've noticed. I just saw an accident 2 minutes ago coming down Bellrica Road every day. What they do now, and I don't know who might dispute this, but I see that they don't give tickets anymore. What they do, they put car 1, car 2, car 3. They write down your information. They hand it back to you. I don't see anybody getting cited anymore. And I don't know if this is a law that's been around, I think.
Now, listen, if you blatantly break the law, cause an accident, and if it can be proved that you violated a traffic statute, you're going to get cited. Hey, Pam, before I let you go, Pam,
Yeah.
when was the last accident you were in?
I was about 2-3 years ago, but the 2 guys behind me, not cited. Nobody was cited. I know friends that have been in accidents recently, hit from the rear, which we know that's never good. Not cited. The cops they literally hand you the paperwork, and you guys got to go to your insurance companies. And sadly, lawsuits do happen.
Pam, thanks for the call. And Pam, maybe you ought to stay off the road, Pam.
Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Pam's good.
All right, Pam, thank you. Appreciate it.
Get a bus card.
Last call on this, and then I got to call Froggy's wife and tell Kim that Froggy fled the show. I don't understand.
Oh, she probably knows already.
Mark, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, guys. Real quick, I drive truck. I've been over 30 years. The way I can kind of look at it as doesn't matter who caused the accident, it's who was involved in the accident. So Froggy's in his lane doing his thing, traveling down the road, minding his business. This lady came out. She left her lane of travel. Whether they ticket her or not today or next week or 2 weeks doesn't matter. The thing is, she left her lane of travel. So when she leaves her lane of travel, she automatically becomes at fault. Now,
And that's my analysis, is that Froggy was in his lane of travel going straight, and out of nowhere he gets whacked. How is that Froggy's it's not his fault. He didn't get ticketed, but how's it not her fault?
well, it's called an accident.
Yeah,
so I don't know how to look at it,
Yeah.
but I look at it as it's not his fault. She's going to get cited whether something else caused it because she needs to be control of her vehicle. She failed to yield. She failed her car.
That's my analysis. Mark, thanks for the call. I appreciate it. I got to wrap this up, but I want to get a hold of Kim in just a minute. Let me give you the Cash Kitty word of the hour. Folks, the Cash Kitty is back, and it's time to blow out the moolah. All right, here we go. Here's the cash. All right, here we go. The Cash Kitty's got $1,000 for you right now. This hour's word is media. That's MEDIA. The word is media, MEDIA. Text the word media nationwide to 45911 before quarter after for a shot at $1,000. Or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myq105.com. That's the 8 o'clock word media texted nationwide to 45911. It'll happen again at 10, noon, 3, and 5 o'clock today. The Cash Kitty is on, blowing out the moolah here at the MJ Morning Show. All right, before I wrap this up, let me get Kim on the line. Kim is Froggy's wife.
I don't think this is going to be good.
Why is it not good? We're on Froggy's side. We're trying to mitigate. We're trying to mitigate the issue here.
I mean, can we not have hard conversations about things?
Froggy, hang on.
Kim.
Froggy, if you can hear me, come back to the studio. Froggy, get back here. Hey, Kim.
Hey.
Are you listening?
Yes.
All right, so Froggy fled. Have you heard from Froggy?
No, I have not heard from Froggy. I don't know why he fled the studio. I don't know. He's taking this really hard. I mean, like, I think he was the number one thing we were concerned with is we didn't want to hurt anybody. I mean, he drives a big truck and he hit a Honda CRV and he could have really hurt the people, that were in that car. And I think he is like a little traumatized.
Well, Fester has said that she is going to sue. Froggy got a little torqued off because Fester says that the woman's going to sue.
And she very well may, but I mean, that's something that we can't control. I mean, here are a couple things that I'll add context-wise on the whole accident. Number one, she would not take any medical, assistance. So, neither one of the people that were in the car got taken away. Nothing happened. When I asked the police, I literally asked them, I said, who was at fault? And they said, Florida is a no-fault state. And I said, okay. I said, is anybody going to get a ticket? And they said, no one is going to get a ticket. So I don't know how that all plays out. The other thing is we both have the same insurance.
Oh, the same insurance. What insurance company is it?
We both have Progressive.
Oh, Flo and that annoying little guy they're gonna get involved now.
So that seems like it would be a good thing.
I mean,
right?
I don't know how that will play a factor, but
Interesting.
Here's the bottom line. Is we're both happy that no one got hurt.
Absolutely.
It was the definition of an accident. It was literally no one was malicious, no one wanted to hurt anybody, and we're just happy that everybody walked away.
Now, Froggy's truck might be totaled.
I know that. I mean, here's the situation: is if we just have to pay our deductible, we're lucky enough that we can afford to pay the deductible, get the truck fixed, and move on. Number two, if it gets totaled out, it gets totaled out, and he gets a new truck. I mean, these are things that are out of our control at this point. We just have to deal with things as they come.
Well, you know what? It's great to hear just level-headed Kim. Froggy blows up and runs out of the studio. We don't know where he is.
Kim, I just got a text that says, if there's no injury, there's no lawsuit.
That was because that's Kuz was saying, or I'm sorry, Froggy was saying to me, he was saying, he's like, they're going to sue us. And I go, I don't understand what they can sue us about if she's not taking medical assistance. Like, she's literally turning everything down. I mean, the other thing that's uncomfortable is obviously we're going to see this woman at soccer tonight, which is going to be awkward for everybody.
But you guys didn't do anything.
So
you didn't do anything wrong.
The woman that plowed into Froggy, her son is on Froggy's kids' soccer team, so they're all going to be at soccer tonight.
Kim, what happens when she shows up to the soccer game tonight with a big neck brace
Yeah,
on?
exactly.
And
Crutches, bandages.
or she's in a wheelchair.
She's got an IV drip.
I don't know. And here's the thing: it's not like we're super close with these people.
Right.
I mean, like, she sits at one particular end, and we sit at another end.
Oh, it's going to get further away now.
And here's the other thing: is she doesn't speak English, so it's not like we can communicate with her either. And
Oh, wow.
But she only speaks Spanish, which that's fine. But I mean, I think that's why we don't have a relationship. Is there's a language
Little language barrier. All right, Kim, let me run. I got to move on here. But if you can get a hold of Froggy, have Froggy come back to the studio, please. All right, Kim, we'll talk to you later. Roxanne, you had mentioned earlier that you were sued because what happened? You had a housekeeper sue you?
Yeah, maybe I have a...
Would you run her over in the driveway?
No,
Would you
no.
have her vacuum? Why did a Roxanne. What happened? Why did your housekeeper sue you?
This is a long, long time ago. This is when I was married. This is like my first year of marriage.
Right.
And
what happened?
So my ex-husband had a pit bull, and it was a real point of contention in our family. Like, my dad was like, "That's the worst dog you can have." My dad held the mortgage on the house.
Wait,
so I was
wait a
kinda
minute. The
irritated
pit
about
bull
that.
bit the housekeeper?
Yeah, let me get to paint this picture accurately.
Go ahead.
Anytime you say pit bull, I know the last page of the story.
So my dad was always like, "Why do you guys have that dog? You know, all your neighbors are gonna hate you walking around the neighborhood. It's a family neighborhood. You got this big pit bull. What are you trying to, you know?" So he hated the dog. He was mad at my ex-husband about having it. I was kind of in the middle because I was trying to defend him, being married to him.
No, Dad,
And then-
I love him though.
And then we had, our housekeeper came one day, and she loved the dog. By the way, the dog's name was Ruger. Okay.
The dog's name was Ruger.
I'm gonna get a pit bull. I'm gonna name him after a gun. How does that sound, Rox?
Yeah. So
I'm going to name him Jaws.
Yeah. Ooh.
So this dog, he was a sweetheart.
I'm going to name him Mauler.
I'm gonna get two dogs. Name one Smith and the other one Wesson.
So I would, Ruger would go on walks with me around the neighborhood. He would always put himself between me and any danger. He was a protective dog.
All right, so cut to the chase.
I'm
What
getting
happened?
to it. So the cleaning woman, she came in the house. She played with him all the time. She loved him. She loved animals, and she was, would hug him and stuff. But when we left, the instructions were, we're putting him away in the den. Do not go back in, because obviously we don't want to be there. We don't want you to go in there when we're not there.
Without you there, right?
Yes.
Leave the dog alone.
Leave the den shut.
You
Yes.
put the dog in a room and leave the dog in the room.
Yes.
Is that it?
Mm-hmm.
What happened?
So she obviously went in the room. I remember I got the phone call from, I can't remember who it was from. I've tried to block it all out. But anyway, she was like, the dog bit me. It was from Paul. The dog bit me. The dog bit her. Okay, so
Can you
when you
tell me the story? What
yes,
happened?
I know. It's coming back to me. This is so many years ago, and I tried to block it out. So the dog didn't bite her. Ruger didn't bite her. He jumped up at her, and one of his nails scratched her lip.
All right, so she was scratched by
Yes.
the claw on the paw.
Yes.
It was not an actual bite.
Right.
So
And
what happened?
so
What did the
Here's
housekeeper
the thing,
do?
because when you get a phone call and say your pit bull has bit someone, it's terrifying. That's
Right.
scary.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah,
this
you're thinking worst case scenario, like
Oh.
the face is hanging off.
Listen, my ex-husband used to take his dog and let him hang from a rope on a tree,
Oh,
jump
geez,
up
yeah.
there and grab it with his teeth. They're so strong.
It's a strong dog.
It's a strong,
All right,
strong
so
dog.
Just cut to the chase. What was the final disposition here? What happened?
So everything was fine. She continued to come to the house. Everything was fine. And a month later, we took her to the doctor that day. We took her to the dentist right away. No, not the dentist. I'm sorry. First, we took her to the,
The lip
ER,
doctor. Yeah.
urgent care.
Uh-oh.
And she had to get 3 stitches, right?
That's right.
Let me guess.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, let me guess. So you took her. She had 3 stitches,
3
from
stitches on her lip.
just a claw mark.
Might have been 2 stitches. I don't know, but it was.
Are you sure your dog didn't latch on with the jaw and rip her lip off? How do you get 3 stitches from just a scratch?
It's a hell of a scratch.
It's big nails, and who knows? Anyway, she required 3 stitches, so happened.
What happened?
So then everything was fine until a month later, and she came over with her attorney to my house, and she was like, "Yeah, it's nothing against you, but we're going to sue your insurance company." Well, I knew my insurance company was going to drop me as soon as they found out we had a pit bull, right? So that's a problem.
Right.
And the reason she was suing me is because she said she had pain and suffering and she had nightmares about it.
Oh, geez.
And she had.
How much did she sue you for?
$80,000.
Oh, my God. $80,000.
She had TMJ.
Oh, my God. She had TMJ?
Yes.
I bet she did.
And so she had TMJ.
My God, did she get a urinary tract infection as well?
Exactly.
2 of them.
Exactly.
Two.
So at that point, my ex-husband was a pretty nice guy. He's like, okay, I'm sorry. He probably would have
Did
given
she
her
get a
his $80,000.
cyst on her ovary from this?
So he was nice about it. I
These
was like,
bunions on my feet are new since the pit bull attack.
Oh, my God.
I was like, get the bleep out of my house. And
So
then I
you
had
never,
to get an attorney.
you never saw her again, right?
No.
And did she get $80,000?
No, I hired an attorney, and so they hashed it out, and I think...
How much did she get?
0.
Oh, she got 0?
0. Yeah, it was a frivolous lawsuit.
Wow.
And by the way, we had her dental records as well.
We had her
You took her to the dentist.
From the discovery?
Mm-hmm. And she had TMJ her whole life. She's been grinding her teeth her whole life. So that was
so
not...
she tried to say
Roxanne.
that she got TMJ from the dog issue?
Yeah, exactly.
What was her name?
I can't remember.
Really?
Locked it all out.
But the dog's name was Ruger.
Yeah, the dog's name was Ruger. Yeah.
Dog's name was Mauler.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Powerball, no winner on Saturday night. So the next drawing is tonight. And the jackpot, have you seen the billboards around? $1.04 billion. You know what's going on? The odds are so crappy. Froggy, would you come back here?
Is he gone? He's probably gone. He's probably getting breakfast at McDonald's or something.
That's unbelievable. I can't. He left.
He's not going to answer. He doesn't answer his phone. His phone's on silent.
Well, you heard Kim. He's upset about the accident.
So
we're trying to help him. We're on his side.
I was on his side. Now I'm against him.
Now you're going to give information to the lady that crashed into Froggy?
Whoever it was that hit Froggy, call me.
Oh, great. Now Froggy's not going to pick up the phone. Froggy, get back here, man.
Please leave a message after the beep.
Oh, jeez. Unbelievable. So Powerball, another drawing tonight, $1.04 billion. And the cash value is $478. I had a conversation with Andrew, our producer, earlier this morning. Why does it seem the cash value has gone down? It seems that before a lot of these mega jackpots, the cash value was never less than half of the actual jackpot amount. It just seems that over the last couple of years that the cash value has decreased.
Have they extended the term of the annuity? Is it 25 years or 30?
It's a 30-year annuity typically. I mean, I don't understand, but I seem to recall that the cash value was more on these massive jackpots. So just a weird deal, I guess. All right, moving along. I don't know where to start here. There's so much stuff today. I want to run something by you that you don't hear typically every day. Woman on lawnmower hit and killed by airplane.
What a combination.
What the? I mean, you want to talk about odds. Is this Froggy's walking back in. Froggy's
back.
Look at this. Froggy's back. Yeah.
A lot of the callers said, don't worry about it.
Froggy.
No,
I'm not worried about
no
it.
injuries.
I want you to
worries.
know, after
right?
you left, Froggy, we did not talk about it for 1 second, and we completely dropped it, and we went on to something else.
We moved
Just
on.
so you know.
We completely moved
I've
on.
been listening to Chad and Christy.
We respected your privacy and your boundaries. What are they doing?
The menus. School menus.
Dude, I remember when I
Tater tots are big today.
Dude, Cleveland Wheeler back in the day used to do school menus.
Are you serious?
I was like, oh, Brell's got it today. It's going to be pizza
Let
day.
me just say that I've been a little stressed lately, okay? And this has affected me more than I thought.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Froggy.
If you touch me, I'll kick you in the crotch.
All right, we're on your side, though. All right, listen, I got to move on.
Let's move on, yes.
So,
Let's not talk about it.
Woman on lawnmower hit by airplane and killed. What the? I mean, how bad a day are you having when you're just on your riding lawnmower and an airplane crashes into you?
What was that show where they'd have a death scene in the beginning?
So
6 feet under.
Oh, 6 feet under.
Yeah, it's like a scene from that.
Yeah. Come up with the most bizarre death scenario. Yeah, 6 feet under. Because that show on HBO years ago, every episode started with a bizarre death that then ended up.
I remember the Blue Ice episode.
Oh, yeah, with a ladies in her backyard talking to her husband on a little portable phone. Remember those old phones, the wireless phones in the house for the landlines? Ladies in her backyard talking to her husband, and Blue Ice falls off an airplane and cracks her in the head. Boom, lights out. So the woman is dead. She was struck by a plane while mowing the lawn in Oklahoma last week. 27-year-old Samantha Hayes, 27.
That's just your time to go.
Oh, my God. I feel awful. She was on her lawnmower, and this was adjacent to the Broken Bow Airport in McCurtain County. So she's mowing the lawn at the same time a 1972 Bonanza A36 piloted by a 70-year-old guy was coming in for a landing. The pilot descended the plane, landed, and after touching down, saw Hayes on the lawnmower. According to authorities, the pilot then tried to pull up the plane, but the wing struck her in the head while she was on the lawnmower. Oh, my God.
Did it decapitate her?
I don't know.
I would imagine.
That's crazy. So her lawn, I guess, was adjacent to this landing strip. I mean, that's nuts. Felt terrible, awful about this. Hey, I want to address again, how many times is this? Addressing the cell phone test that's coming this week. How many times? The nationwide, we've talked about this, 5 times now?
6 as of this time.
This might be 6. Yes. We talked about this over a month ago. I think we were probably first to mention this in the entire area. This was back in, I think, August, that we first told you, hey, folks, heads up, October 4th, there's going to be a nationwide emergency cell phone test where all the cell carriers are working with the FCC and FEMA. And they're going to do a nationwide cell phone test and put out an alert that this is a test of this emergency alert system and no further action is required. It's just a test. But the conspiracy theories are just running crazy. And there are podcasters, there are radio shows that are just irresponsible, and they're just perpetuating conspiracy nonsense and garbage, that your phone is going to be disabled for an hour, that they're sending nanoparticles through the air. I mean, there's crazy crap. Let me share something with you. Here's one of the claims, that an emergency broadcast system test coming up on October 4th. So what is that? That is Wednesday. Tomorrow's the 3rd. Wednesday's the 4th. And it's set to begin at 2:20 in the afternoon Eastern time. So 2:20, somewhere around that time, your phone is going to go, and you're going to get it's like the Amber Alerts that you get on your phone.
So everybody's going to go off at the same time, and everything's going to be chirping if you're
or within the same relative amount of time, because you're going to be dealing with all the cell carriers. You get T-Mobile, Verizon, AT&T. You've got all of the smaller carriers that are out there, which they don't have their own towers. All the small companies, that are out there, they're leasing space either on T-Mobile, Verizon, or AT&T equipment. But nationwide, everyone is supposed to have the test go off. But let me share this with you. Conspiracy claim. The emergency broadcast system test coming this week will send a signal to cell phones nationwide in order to activate nanoparticles such as graphene oxide that have been introduced into people's bodies. What? And there are people that are pushing this garbage. That is not true. There's no... The EAS, we do a weekly test on this radio station where you hear, this is a test, this is only a test. And you hear the little noises going off and everything. Hey, maybe Bobby Bones can play another, maybe he can play another real emergency tone and get fined $1 million.
Don't do that, Bob.
Yeah, he did that.
He did it once.
Yeah, Bobby Bonehead. Seriously, they got fined $1 million.
I could see it really affected his career.
Yeah. So the alert system.
Hey, Bobby, good news. We're going to pay the fine and syndicate you to 50 more cities.
Oh, great. Sounds good.
Hey, let me play more emergency tones. let me play some more. All right. So this emergency broadcast, it was like EBS, now it's EAS. This has been around for a long time. I think back to like the 1960s. There is no government spook crap going on. It's not releasing nanoparticles into your body. But the conspiracy theorists are jumping all over it. Oh, yeah, this is a test to make sure that the government can shut down all of our cell phones so we can't talk. I mean, come on. There is no nanoparticles that are being released into your body from the test. And it's just an example of just some of the garbage that's out there. And then some are trying to tie the test into the mRNA vaccines for COVID, that the test is then going to activate something that's in a vaccine that you took. I mean, it's crazy. It's bonkers. It's absolutely cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And if you listen to any radio show or any podcast or any internet website that's pushing this conspiracy crap, walk away. It's just irresponsible. I'm not going to be part of that. You're going to have a test that's going to beep on your phone for 15 seconds and it's done. It's over with.
See, I'm very curious about this test for another reason. I am an early adopter of shutting off all the emergency warnings on your phone. I don't get any Amber Alerts. I don't get any severe weather alerts.
Now, hold on. This is important.
I don't get any of that
Now,
stuff.
hang on,
I
Fester.
deliberately made that selection in my settings.
I wonder if this test is going to override your option. So, this is going to be interesting because Fester, in his settings on his cell phone, he's turned off all alerts.
Yes.
So Fester doesn't get the Amber Alerts. He doesn't get the weather alert. Nothing. I'm curious to find out 2:20 p.m. on Wednesday whether the test comes through on your phone.
As am I, sir. As am I.
I guess we will find out. Now, Roxanne, I got a little bone to pick with you, Roxanne.
Oh, let's do it. Go ahead. Maybe I'll walk out.
Whoa. We're not trying to set that as a precedent.
Hold on a minute. Roxanne, this is part of an email you sent to me last night.
Let's see. Go ahead and read it.
I sent an email 12 hours ago.
Apparently, you've been sitting on content for 2 months.
Yeah, I have.
Are you excited about this? You're holding back?
Know. I don't know if I'm going to air it yet or not.
Listen to the email which I received from Roxanne last night. Now, this was part of the show prep, so I've got links to various stories, but there's an opening paragraph that reads, I have the most insane thing that happened to me about 2 months ago that I've been trying to decide if I want to share on the air. I think I'm getting closer to wanting to share it, but I need to talk to you in advance and pick a day when we have lots of listeners because it's good.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on.
What?
Maybe like 2 months from now we'll have a bunch more listeners.
You know what? I think on Thursday we're gonna have a lot of. Why don't we do this
doing
Thursday at 7:45? I think we're gonna have a lot of listeners on Thursday. What do you mean?
Keep doing those 3 a days. Keep doing those. Hey, tell 3 people a day, and then we'll build up to it. Yes. Okay. Here's my trepidation.
Good word.
Thank you. First thing is, this is something that I will definitely be judged for, but we I say things every day that I'm judged for, so I don't really care about that. And the entertainment value far exceeds whatever judgment I
So
will receive.
Roxanne says, feel free to ask me about this on the air.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you my reservations for wanting to share and the reasons that I would want to share. So what do you got? The devil on one shoulder, the angel on the other? It's like, do it. No, do it. Do it. No,
Exactly. It's
thanks,
a very...
thanks for being so timely, by the way. Coming to us 2 months later with this great story.
She's still not ready to talk about it. She wants to do it on a big listener day, not just some bummy Monday.
Bummy Monday.
It's a very, very personal story.
Ooh.
And
say that again. It's a very
personal.
No, but we say before that.
Very, very.
Double varies.
I did two varies.
Very, very personal story.
Yes. So I have to feel comfortable. In other words, I'm giving a lot of myself by sharing this.
You're opening up, maybe?
Yes. And I
Give
have
a little
to
bit. Give a little bit.
You gotta earn it, MJ. I gotta feel like
earn it.
This room is the place to share it.
Tell the freaking story. Let's go.
No, I'm not gonna do it today.
You want her to do it now?
way.
She's not prepared.
No, I'm not. No.
What does it have to do with?
You and I are going to have a real deep conversation prior to me.
I'm going to have a deep conversation with you prior?
Yeah, about how we're not going to interrupt me the entire time I'm trying to tell the story.
Oh, that's not going to happen. I mean,
You have to choose your interruptions and make sure that they are high caliber entertainment interruptions.
You may just want to record this and put it on YouTube then, because where do you think you are?
This is a story you guys will absolutely have fun making fun of me. It'll be like us at our best. I like that part of it.
What does it have to do with? Give us a topic, a subject matter, a theme.
This is quite
something.
Pitch.
Okay, the reason I am so compelled to share it, I'll give you a clue. The reason I'm so compelled to share it is because I think...
content compels you. The power of content compels you. The content of power content.
Is it something like, is it involving your health?
No, it's not. It's not like that.
I mean, is it involving finances?
No, it's not like that. So I think it could help people.
What is the basic description? What category does it fall in?
I think it would help people who've lost someone. That's all I'm going to say.
Ooh, wait.
And I think it would help people think about life and life purpose.
All right, can we do it this week?
You really have to be nice to me, and we're going to have to end each day on I'm going to have to walk out of here feeling.
Got to kiss your feet.
No, you just have to make me feel like this is the place to do it, as opposed to a podcast that no one would hear.
I don't know what you want from
us. Okay, Fester, that's a nick against you today. Okay.
You're ruining it. Great. I'm ruining it.
What? Making sure this is the place to tell your story versus what? Opening up the window on the Howard Franklin and yelling it out?
Exactly.
Hey, everybody! Can you hear me? Yeah, it's Roxanne here. I got a big story to tell you.
Does anybody have any guesses? I have none.
I've been waiting for that truck to pass before I tell the rest of the story. It interrupted me. So how long would you like to request for your uninterrupted
It doesn't have to be uninterrupted. It just has to be like, you're funny interruptions. You're poking fun. There's going to be a lot to dig into.
Yes.
Man,
poking fun about dead relatives. Okay. This is a tough road, right?
Hey, you guys have done it before. You've done it really well before. Remember my cousin Shane?
I will shoot for some time this week. I'll shoot for some time this week to have Roxanne. This better be good.
Oh, it's good.
I'm excited.
Okay.
All right. Maybe sometime this week here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Oh, let me go back to the pit bull story because I forgot to mention this.
Oh my God, what happened to him?
Oh, Andrew, get who let the dogs out.
So we got to be careful. Do you know we had a YouTube MJ TV episode yanked last week
because of music?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like the computer algorithm bot crawlers.
So never mind, Andrew. Forget it.
They picked up some music that we ran, and our podcast or our video stream, our video cast from, I think it was last Monday or two. Andrew, what day was it last week?
It might have been Monday. I have to look back.
It was early last week. One of our podcasts, a video podcast, one of our video
MJTVs.
Thank you, Jesus. All right, so one of our MJ TVs was pulled, unavailable, and I was getting all kinds of emails from people saying, "Hey, yeah, I can't watch MJ TV. Yeah, I didn't get to see it today," or "Hey, I watch MJ TV every night when I get back from work, so I can watch and see what you guys did in the studio." And one of the early video streams from last week was yanked, unavailable, and apparently it was because what did we play that? There were like a couple of pieces of like music snippets that we played that got, I guess, flagged.
Was it Friday?
No, it was last.
Oh, it wasn't during Hal Herman News?
No, it wasn't. It was earlier in the week. I think it was like we played Roxanne and Joyride, like the hook, because what were we talking about? There was
that stuff gets
kids
flagged.
that took the car.
What? Oh yeah. We have the kids. We have the 10 and 11-year-old kids that took mom's car from like Northport or something.
It made it all the way up to Gainesville practically.
Drove up to like Alachua County. They drove 2 hours north. A 10-year-old's driving mom's car, and they fled because mom took their electronics away.
And they pulled down the entire 4-hour chunk.
And I played the little clip from Roxanne. "Hello, you fool. I love you. Come and join the joy ride. Joy." And then we get flagged. Rox freaking gets us yanked off of YouTube for one of our episodes last week.
Yeah, someone texted it was Monday's show.
Yeah. What else got yanked?
I don't remember which clips they were, but every day Buck has to go through responding to multiple messages from YouTube about stuff we played, but rarely does it ever get the entire show blocked.
All right, so why the hell? Why don't we?
We never know which songs it'll be that does that.
Why don't we find a different platform? Why don't we get off YouTube if
you're on Twitch and you play music, it just drops out for a second. The visual still goes and then it comes back.
I've heard that before. I've seen our YouTube streams before where the audio just dropped out and it's like we're playing like one of Hal Herman's segments where we're playing music and then we play a song and then it cuts out. I'm like, okay, there's nothing here.
Most often, that's what happens.
Yeah. Okay.
But we never know what it is it's going to. We got knocked out by an air check of Bon Jovi a few months back when we played Gino coming back over an intro.
Yeah, we played some audio clip and it was like the last 10 seconds of Bon Jovi, like Living on a Prayer. I hope that Hal Herman's news music, I hope this doesn't get us yanked off of YouTube. Yeah.
Well, Hal Herman News has been canceled, right?
Why would Hal Herman News be canceled?
I thought you said it was canceled.
I didn't say it was canceled.
Oh, interesting.
I think Hal was drunk.
I think we ought to have a Hal Herman News segment later this week.
Interesting.
Why don't we shoot for Friday?
Interesting. I'll talk to Hal.
All right, so the Pitbull deal.
Not the dog, not the singer, Froggy.
Yeah, it's
not Mr. 305.
Nothing happened to the.
I would say let's play some Pitbull, but
Fireball. Nothing happened to that guy.
That's not the Fireball guy.
What are you doing?
Doesn't he do Fireball?
Fireball is like some country hillbilly. Like,
oh no, but it's mixed in with his music. It's like da, 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 da. Yeah,
is that a?
Hold on,
that's not his line. That's not his line, is
Yes,
it?
Pitbull doesn't say Fireball.
No, but isn't that his music?
Oh, hang on, that was
Fireball.
That's not Pitbull.
Who's that?
But
I believe that's Pitbull.
It's in a Pitbull
That's
song.
Pitbull?
Yeah, it's in a Pitbull song.
Yeah,
No.
Fireball.
I thought it was like
Yes.
Travis Tritt or something.
No, it's
what are you
da, da,
talking-
da, 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 da.
That is a.
I take it back.
It's a Pitbull song where he said.
Fireball.
Prove it.
Yeah, that's
That's
it.
a Pitbull song.
That's it. Fireball.
Don't play too much of it.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
seriously.
don't play too much. We'll get yanked off of freaking YouTube
I
today.
apologize. I'm not as big a Pitbull fan as I thought I was.
Told you.
Dude, listen, if you're going to correct me, make sure you're right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Idiot.
Or not. Either way.
Roxanne, a little while ago, talked about her housekeeper getting mauled by her pit bull
Okay, again.
and getting sued for $80 grand.
That didn't happen. What you just said is what didn't happen.
Right. Well, she accused the
Yeah,
dog
yes,
of attacking
let's-
her. And she had 3 stitches in her lip, but wasn't bitten. She was just like clawed. It doesn't matter.
I
Anyway.
mean, she was maimed.
Well, listen, let's talk about what the end result was. Paid $0.
I thought we were
All right,
done.
Well, we're done with that. I'm moving
on
on.
to another Pitbull.
I'm moving on to a pit bull deal here because the law yesterday, October 1st, yesterday, a new law in Florida invalidates the Miami-Dade County ban on pit bulls. Yeah, DeSantis signed the new authorization of restrictions concerning dogs law after state lawmakers passed it as Florida State Bill 942 and Florida House Bill 941 went into effect yesterday, invalidates the Miami-Dade County pit bull ban, which started in '89 after a 7-year-old girl survived an attack that required reconstructive surgeries. But also, I think that other municipalities around the state, and even down to, I think, some like apartment complexes and other places where people live.
Specific breeds have been banned from communities.
Exactly. Tried to ban specific breeds. So I think this law, which overturns the Miami-Dade thing, I think has an effect statewide from my interpretation here. So although the state law invalidates the county ban, it still allows, I guess, some residential. It's. I don't have a full grasp on it, and I tried to read through it, but there might still be. I think when it comes down to municipalities, so if it's a public law that is enacted by a local government, I believe that the pit bull ban is invalidated like Miami-Dade. However, I still believe that private entities might still be able to ban certain dog breeds from what I read and from what I was able to interpret. So you might have some cranky, get off my lawn HOA in some, retirement community or something or whatever, some kind of deed restricted joint where I think that in a private setting, not a municipality, I think they can still say, yeah, we don't like dachshunds. They're dumb looking dogs. You can't have one.
Yeah.
Not the wiener dog.
Yeah, the wiener dog.
Listen, I don't hate dogs. I'm just using that as a stupid example. I think wiener dogs and dachshunds are very cute little animals.
I'd love to live in a wiener-free community.
Yeah.
Wiener dog-free community.
Yeah. So that law did change yesterday, but I still think that there are some private operations that can still say, yeah, we don't want any Shih Tzus here, you know? I still think that's a possibility. I have, what time is it? 8:36. 8:36. We're in the middle of an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ. Again, folks, please do your part. We don't ask for much. We give. We give every day. All this MJ Morning Show content, we just give it to you. And the only thing I'm asking for is that you tell 3 people a day. And part of the reason why I'm doing this is there are still a good number of people that don't know the MJ Morning Show is back. And I just ran into another person over the weekend. Hey, MJ, I used to listen to you all the time. I'm like, we're back every morning on 104.7. I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, whoa. I mean, have you been in a coma? No. Have you left the area over the last 3 years? No. Didn't know we were back. Oh, my God, I'll listen every day. So I don't quite have the advertising budget that I want because we should have billboards up at least 2, maybe 3 times a year. Tampa Bay's best morning show, the best morning entertainment, the MJ Morning Show is back, blah, blah, blah. But we don't. We don't have the budget for a big outdoor campaign or TV commercials. So in lieu of that, I'm just asking you, the MJ Morning Show listener, to tell 3 people a day that you listen to the MJ Morning Show, you like what we do, and that they ought to listen to. If you know for a fact that someone you work with or someone that you know listens to a different morning show, tell them to check us out. Give us a couple of days. 104.7 FM, and that's the whole premise behind MJ 3 a day. Tell 3 people. And really, I'm trying to get you to help us with the advertising since we don't have the budget to do really, really effective. Our audience is already really, really big, but it can become ginormously bigger if everyone that's not exposed to us was exposed to us. There's a high percentage that's going to stick and become regular fans because our show, pound for pound, is the most entertaining on the air every morning in this market. So that's the whole premise behind MJ 3 a day. So I appreciate your help. I do appreciate it. Hey, I saw something that I thought was worthy of conversation. The headline was, for this particular item, that how do I deal with a weird coworker that won't stop staring at me? Yeah. I mean, think about this. You work at a place, and listen, there are obviously office attractions where, a guy is attracted to a woman and just stares all day, or maybe a woman's attracted.
Who stares? What are you, like 7?
So this person rolls out this story. This was on one of the Reddit, communities where people discuss issues, and the person's talking about how the coworker is a bit strange, and they both sit in a desk area, and when things are not busy, she just turns around and stares at me.
Oh, it's a girl staring.
This one, it could go either way.
Is it woman on woman staring?
Nope. This is a woman staring at a guy, and he wants to know what he can do about it. He says that it's unnerving. It is odd. It makes him feel all creeped out.
Obviously, she's not hot.
So what do you do?
Obvious.
If she was hot, he'd be like all about it. I don't get it.
Yeah, one of the things in the the responses was, "What do you work with, Wednesday Addams?"
Just stare at you.
Has he addressed it with her? Like, hey, why are you always looking like a creep at me?
So what do you do? If someone just is staring at you, it's like, I always feel like somebody's watching me.
You know what you do is you flicker your tongue at him like a lizard.
Yeah.
You hiss at him like a cat or something.
Yeah, that's not going to get you a sexual harassment complaint.
I mean,
she's one staring.
You want to grab a couple of calls on this?
Yeah, see if there are any stares.
Yeah.
Okay, so wait.
Well, let me give out the number first.
Okay.
800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. Have you ever had any kind of weird office place or workplace interaction like this where someone's just staring you down? Oh, look at Fester's got
Fester
this.
takes pictures of Roxanne's feet.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. Hey, Andrew, grab Fester's camera. Look at.
Fester is a stare.
Hang on,
He's a stare. Actually, now that you mention it.
Look at the underbite that Fester's doing with his mouth right now.
Hey, girl.
Ew.
Oh, you got to
It's
get
an
Fester's
overbite.
profile.
I'm going to sit here and just stare at you.
And Fester's just looking Roxanne up and down. Oh, that's creepy, man. Oh, I just got the willies.
I used to have a stare.
All right, hold on that story. Let me give out the number again. Folks, have you ever had a starer at work? Have you ever had anyone that just really creeped you out? Anyone that just wouldn't stop looking at you, and it was just uncomfortable? What did you do? What should this person do? All right, and this is a woman staring at a guy. I'm guessing it's probably more guys staring at women. I don't know if there's any man on man, any woman on woman. Any thoughts on this, or if you had an interesting similar scenario of weird workplace staring, stop staring at her. 800-990-1047. That's how you get on. Fire up the phones. 800-990-1047. What was the solution? What was the scenario? Man staring at woman, woman staring at man, man staring at man, woman staring at woman. They staring at they, it staring at it, them, they staring
at it.
Whatever. 800-990-1047 is how you get on. Now, hang on, let me bring Jarrett on, and then Roxanne. Hey, Jarrett, you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right, Jarrett, hold on. Let me let Roxanne tell her story. So, Roxanne, you were trying to bust in. What?
I was just going to say, the one time I had that happen to me is when I was pregnant. And it was one of these men who's like, you know how some men really love pregnant women and love their bodies and stuff? And so he would always.
Oh, I'm unaware of this fetish. Is that?
Yeah.
Was
No,
it a
there's-
coworker or somebody you knew like in the community?
It
Or?
was a coworker.
Here?
Coworker. Yeah. Long gone. And this is my first baby.
Here at the studio before
Yes.
we started working
Yes.
together.
Yes.
So,
Not on air.
So prior to the MJ Morning Show
Yep.
coming back and you joining us,
Yes.
you had someone that was staring at your pregnant body?
Yes. And like would fess up to it, like, and would talk about
And
my
would say,
body.
"Oh, I love your
Yes.
pregnant body."
Yes.
Oh my God, that's an HR problem.
But it was like, I know they meant it in a complimentary way, and I think guys think they can get away with that a little bit because it's not a sexual thing. It's like it's like
maybe it is.
admiration thing.
Maybe it is a
that
sexual
you're
thing.
cooking a
Maybe
baby.
it's like a div. It's your what?
I said maybe it's an admiration thing, like you're cooking a baby.
You're
Okay,
cooking?
you're-
The bun in the oven?
Yeah,
You're cooking a
like-
baby?
Like I don't know. I didn't take it wrong, but it was
Wow.
like comments. It's weird to have comments about your body.
Did you do anything about it?
No.
Or you just let it happen?
Yes.
Why would you let the guy creep you out all day long?
He wasn't creeping me out. I'm just telling you the story.
Oh, so you
wasn't
liked
creepy.
it?
It was just he was just making
Fester,
observations.
she liked it. All right, Jarrett in Tampa. Jarrett, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Yeah, hey, how you doing, guys? And the gal. Yes, well, you know what? Froggy had mentioned there's two ways it can go, from my perspective and my experience. When I was in college, it used to happen all the time, in high school too. But what you do, I mean, if she's hot, then, find her attractive, you can go another way about it. But if it's someone that's making you uncomfortable, I always found best way, if you could stomach it yourself, is, stare right back at them. I mean, I'm talking just a dead stare right back at
So
them.
that's the old fighting fire with fire. Just hand it back to them exactly what they're doing to you.
All the time they stop. It's never once has it become a stare down. You stare right back at them, and then they stop. It's pretty effective.
Jarrett, thanks for the call. Tanya is in Apollo Beach. Tanya, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi there. Good morning.
Morning, Tanya. What happened?
Okay, so my story is actually from high school rather than work. But so I went to Catholic school for 9 years and then went to public high school. So freshman year was my first, experience with like a giant, thousands of students and just getting to know someone every day. So in my freshman year, I was in criminal justice 1, and the guy that sat in front of me was a senior, and he would turn around and talk to me and just put his hands on my desk and just force conversation on me. And I was so afraid of him because he had this one really long pinky nail that was filed into like a dagger.
Oh, my God. He had the Coke nail.
Yes, and he would tell me that he would use it to fight off his enemies. And I had no idea how to respond to this human. I would just kind of chuckle like, oh, that's neat, and go about my day.
So this was criminology?
This was criminal justice 1.
Yeah, and like he was acting like some kind of sociopath.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they forced him into this class to try to get him on the path. I'm not really sure. But
Did you go into law enforcement or?
No, I didn't. I have an interest and fascination with it, but no, I did not go into law enforcement. I'm
Gotcha.
actually a hairstylist.
You're listening to all those murder podcasts?
No, I only just listened to a podcast for the first time last week. I'm a little late to the podcast.
Well, you're not missing much because 99.9% of the podcasts out there are just garbage.
Are they?
Yeah. 90. I mean, listen, the bulk of the podcasts, because listen, what's happened with podcasting is every Momo with a tape recorder and a microphone thinks they can do a podcast. If I wish I had $1 for everyone. Oh yeah, I'm doing a podcast these days. Okay, great. What do you have? 7 downloads? Come on.
7? Oh no, only 2.
I mean, the bottom line is there's like a handful of successful podcasts, and all the other, 8 million out there just blow chunks. So
yeah, I'm sure it's hard to find.
Yeah. All right, Tanya, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you guys have a good day.
Right. Hey, speaking of nails, that's a real trend these days. And Roxanne, you could probably weigh in on this. The women that are having the 2-inch nails that are filed to a triangular point. What is going on with that?
Yeah, I see that a lot. I don't know how functional they are. I mean, I haven't gotten my nails done in a long time.
I mean, I just have basic body maintenance questions when I see those nails.
Yeah, I know.
I know. What? How?
How do you button a button?
That wasn't the exact one I had, but yes, it would fall into the same category.
I don't know how to put this, but I saw an item about a Tampa Bay Lightning player that just dropped $9 million on a house.
In Beach Park.
This is a house that I walk by twice a week. Why? Because this particular house is on my 5-mile course. So on Saturdays and Sundays, either early in the morning, sometimes midday, depending on the sun. Like this weekend was kind of overcast, so but I still did early walks. So on Saturdays and Sundays, I do a nice brisk 5-mile walk. During the weeknights, I walk about 2 miles. And when your mother said, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't believe in that. So
I do opposite.
All right, I have something to say about this house that a Lightning player just bought for $9 million, and I walk by twice a week. You might want to hear what I have to say next. Hold on, That and a whole lot more. If you have one of the iPhone 15s that are like getting super hot, there looks like there's a fix coming. We've got information on the Tupac Shakur murder. We have an arrest all these years later. Britney Spears is like lashing out after the whole knife video came out. More Taylor Swift manufactured publicity crap. Do you think there's anything Taylor Swift does that's not like planned and totally scripted?
Can't you just be in love?
I don't think so. Hold on. All of that is next. Everything I just talked about, next. And a lot more. Another long chunk of the MJ Morning Show is in minutes. Don't move. And folks, you want to listen to the 9 o'clock hour. Do not turn us off. Figure out a way to drag your listening over. Listen into the 9 o'clock hour because we've got great material every single morning in the 9 o'clock hour. In fact, I've got the 9:10 story coming up. Every day we do the 9:10 must-hear story, and today's about a gas scam, which you got to hear this one. This is a new one about a gas scam. I don't want you to get ripped off. Also, in the 9 o'clock hour, we're going to have a pair of Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. That's a big show for, around the holidays, Christmas time. So we've got a pair of Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. We'll give those away coming up in just a bit here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, right, so if that's your iPhone 15 and it's like blisteringly hot and maybe caught on fire and maybe exploded, throwing shards of screen into your eyeballs. I don't know if there are any reports of that, but no, there have been reports of the new iPhone 15 overheating and getting really hot. And people like, I don't know if like burning hands and having skin drip off, but there are some reports of the iPhone 15 reaching temperatures of nearing 120 degrees. And the word is that Apple is rushing a software update to fix the problem. How do they not test this crap out? I mean, how do they not? You have all these phones that go into the field. You know, you get these stories occasionally how some employee, left a prototype phone at a bar or something, and then it leaks online. And, those stories have happened over the years. But with the amount of testing that they do on these phones, how do you suddenly have a story like, oh, yeah, some iPhone 15s are getting too hot, and now we got to rush out a software update to rectify the problem?
How can they issue a software update to prevent it from getting so hot? If it's on, right?
Well, obviously you don't understand electronics because
they're going to give you the iPhone ice pack?
No, you've got a chip inside, and the microprocessor, that's what generates a lot of the heat. And if you have a software adjustment that could be made, I don't know if you slow down the processing power or what they're actually going to do. No, but the computer code that runs these phones, it tells everything what to do. And if they've isolated an issue that could be heating up the phones, then that's how you address it. It's not like an on-off switch where without a dimmer. I mean, you get different variations in the electronics. So they're claiming that it's a software bug and other issues that's to blame for the reports of this iPhone 15, which just came out about a couple of weeks ago, overheating. Now, I saw a story from CNBC that Apple's going to issue a software update to address the iPhone 15 overheating complaints. Apple said over the weekend they're going to issue the software update that will take care of the issue. Apple said the new iPhones were running hot because of a combination of bugs in iOS 17, bugs in apps, and a temporary setup period that requires extra processing and therefore heat generation. So is it what? When you just put the new phone into service, there is extra taxing on the processor, making it hotter?
If iPhone marketed this like you can use a phone and cook an egg at the same time, that'd be handy.
Make a little hot dog or something.
Right?
Yeah.
Little hibachi grill or something.
Yeah. The iPhones are hotter than the hot dog rollers at 7-Eleven.
Yeah. That's technology.
Yeah, Michelle and I, we can't get our new phones fast enough. We're not iPhone folks. We've never had iPhones. Michelle's never had an Apple phone. I've never had an iPhone either. And we're waiting for the big announcement on Wednesday. Oh, man. So Google's making the big announcement of the iPhone, or the Pixel, rather. So on Wednesday, Google's holding their big event up in New York, and they're going to introduce the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro. And we're going to order 2 Pixel 8 Pros. The minute after the event, they'll make the Google store active, and I'm going to place our order right away, and we should have them shipped like the following week, I think is what they're saying. And there's a rumor, listen to this. There's a rumor that if you order the Pixel Pro, the 8 Pro, that you'll get a free Pixel watch, the Pixel 2 watch. That it's the Google Watch competitor for the Apple Watch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You'd never wear it though.
I think it's got I probably wouldn't, but Michelle would, because she wears like a Garmin for her exercising and stuff. And that the Google Watch has Fitbit built into it and all that stuff. So, but listen, the watch itself is like $350.
We could give it out on the air as a prize.
Hey, you want to win my Pixel
follow-up Pixel
watch?
Week.
Yeah, my Google Pixel 2 watch. No, but that's the rumor, that they're going to give you a free watch if you order. And the Pixel 8 Pro is supposed to be phenomenal. And, we're ready because battery life is sucking bad on my Pixel 6, which is 2 years old. This month, my Pixel 6 is 2 years, and we get new phones every 2 years. So hopefully there won't be a heating problem. Hopefully my new Pixel 8 Pro is not going to burst into flames on the air and torch the studio, although that would be an improvement, to be quite honest, on this particular facility. But heads up on the Apple iPhone 15. They claim they're going to rush an update as quickly as possible. Buccaneers, folks. This is the NFL on the MJ Morning Show. So the Buccaneers are 3-1.
How about that?
What the wow? The Bucs were only supposed to win 2 games according to Sports Illustrated. Now they've exceeded that. The Bucs have 3 wins. The Bucs are actually in first place in the NFC South, which is quite amazing. The Bucs over the New Orleans Saints over the weekend, 26-9. So
the Bucs going to their bye week this week.
So bye week this week, but then the schedule gets tougher. So they're going to have a rough time.
Well, I mean, you would say New Orleans on the road is tough, you know?
So here's the deal.
Well, typically the Bucs have trouble in New Orleans.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Their division sucks.
Yeah. So when they start playing like the I guess what are some of the tougher games coming up? So
the next game is a big game against the Detroit Lions, which are red hot right now.
Right. The Detroit Lions, they sucked for so many years. At some point, they had to get better. And the Detroit Lions are just looking a whole lot better than they have in like a couple of decades.
So
yeah.
they play the Bills in Buffalo.
Right.
Bills are a pretty good team.
Yeah, that's going to be a tough game. So I would imagine that the Buccaneers are going to have trouble with Detroit. The Buccaneers are going to have trouble with the Buffalo Bills. Yeah.
Then they have some crappy teams. The Titans suck. The Colts kind of suck. The Falcons suck. The Jaguars are pretty good.
What'd you say?
The Jaguars?
Prior to that, he said Falcons.
Just Jaguar.
Oh, Jaguar.
No, it's not a Jaguar.
Anyway, Jacksonville
It's not like Mark McGuire. It's not a Jaguar.
They still play the 49ers this year. But they could finish with a winning record after people expecting them to win 2 games, 1 game.
Yeah. So the Bucs have they've exceeded expectations already this season. Yeah, Frog?
What if they lose the rest of the games, though?
Oh, they could.
I mean, they could.
Oh, yeah.
But there's still 3 wins. They're still better than anybody predicted.
They already beat their predictions, I guess.
So at this point, the Bucs could end up 3 and
12.
13.
3 is
I'm sorry, 3 and 14.
3 and 14.
3 and 14.
So the only thing that really matters in football is your divisional games. Because you can lose every game, but if you win every game in your division, you make a home playoff game. That's all that matters.
I have a Tampa Bay Lightning player home purchase story I want to get to in just a minute. So that's on the way. A Tampa Bay Lightning player has dropped $9 million on a home that I walk past every Saturday and Sunday when I do my 5-mile walk. And I saw this just yesterday morning. And I have some comments. And like I said, when your mother has told you in the past, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Well, I don't subscribe to that. But all right, so
no, you don't.
I'll get to that in just a matter of minutes. First, though, it is 9:10. It's time for the must-hear 9:10 story of the day. Every day at 9:10, we roll out a must-hear story, and today's is a new gas scam that's floating around, and you got to be careful of this one, and police have discovered it. Now, this was a story that I saw out of Colorado, but trust me, the scams, they don't stay contained to one geographical area. Now, I'm trying to remember, and it's happened in the past, gas pumps where you can just do the scan. So gas pumps where you can just take the credit card. You know when you check out at a supermarket or a store, the tap and goes.
Yeah.
It has the little those little radio like they look like a bunch of parentheses. And when you see that at like a point of sale, at the checkout at the supermarket. I did some shopping over the weekend, nothing major, just, mostly food shopping. I was at Publix, I was at Trader Joe's, and, you do the tap. You just tap the credit card on the device and approved, and it's, processing, etc. They have some gas pumps, not all, but some gas pumps have the tap and go feature, where you can just tap your credit card instead of inserting the credit card into the machine. Guess what's going on with some of the tap-and-go gas pumps? Heads up on this. The Aurora Police Department out in Aurora, Colorado, which is just outside of Denver. So if you head out of the Denver airport and you head a little bit south and a little bit to the west, Aurora is down there. So it's right in the Denver metropolitan area. The Aurora Police Department is warning about a new scam, which, trust me, if it's there, it's in other places. And it's about the contactless payment at gas stations. Some of the gas stations are moving toward contactless payment, which is designed to cut down on skimming and ID theft. So what this is contactless. You just touch your card, and it gets a read from the RFID or whatever, the little chip inside the card. What's happened, as we all know over the years, the skimmer devices is when crooks at ATMs as well as gas stations, they put the fake credit card slots on the pumps. So you put your card in, it reads the data from your card. So they get the card number, they get the expiration date, and then typically they have a camera set up. And these days, man, you can get cameras the size of a pinky.
Yeah, right.
So what they do is they set up a camera that hovers over or can get a picture of the keypad. So what they do is they have your card skimmed, so they get all the information on your card, and then they'll watch you put in a PIN number in some cases if you're using a debit card. Or if you're using a regular credit card, they're going to get the credit card information. So there are multiple ways to execute the fraud. So at gas stations, they don't always need the camera. So at ATMs, to steal your PIN, they'll use a camera. But sometimes there have been cases where they're skimming you at the gas station. They're also looking for PIN numbers for certain type of debit cards, et cetera. So here's the deal. Here's what's going on. So gas stations that are going to the contactless payment. So on the front of the pump, you'll see that like black pad that has like the squiggly lines that look like radio waves.
Little 3 lines.
Yeah. Just like when you're at the supermarket or you're at Home Depot and they've got the machines that you can just tap and go. What they're doing, crooks are taking a little drill. They're drilling out the center of the contactless payment deal to make the contactless payment reader inoperable.
Really?
Forcing people then to put their card into a bogus credit card slot that they've affixed to the gas pump. So, I mean, how devious is that? So it's been discovered out in Colorado, out in Aurora, in the Denver area. Some scammers are drilling holes in the contactless payment screens, damaging the sensor, and the holes then force the customers to swipe their card for payment, but the thieves have placed skimming devices on the damaged machines, hence stealing the credit card information. And in some cases, if they have a camera set up, stealing a PIN number, if you're using I guess in some cases, if you're using a debit, you might do the contactless little bleepity bleep and then have to put
still have to enter in?
Enter a PIN. Yeah. So
you just got to look for a hole, man. You got to make sure it's not drilled out.
Yeah, according to Aurora, Colorado Police Detective Sergeant Dan Courtenay, when you damage the contactless payment screen, the pump will automatically default back to the card swipe system, and you have no idea there's a skimmer in there. It takes 12 seconds to open a gas pump, place the skimming device, and boom, they're done. So it's not always an outboard fake device. In many cases, they're putting a skimmer inside. So I mean, the world is just so dangerous, man. I'm telling you.
Scary.
It's almost like you want to crawl into a cocoon, man. Yeah. Just everyone's trying to get you from every freaking angle, everywhere. We have Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets that we'll give away before the end of the show. Yeah, Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which people love, man. They always put on a good show. And that's going to be Saturday, December 23rd at Amalie. So, get into the Christmas spirit 2 days before Christmas, Trans-Siberian. And we've got a pair of tickets for you. We'll give those away here in just a little bit here on the MJ Morning Show. So on to the Tampa Bay Lightning home. Roxanne, you know the house I'm talking about, right?
Yes, I do.
And again, when I do, not on my daily 2-mile walk, but when I do my 5-mile course on Saturdays and Sundays. So I walk by this house on Saturday. I walked by this house yesterday morning on Sunday, 5 miles. And a Lightning player just bought this brand new house that just got built, and it is a behemoth. And it looks like a medical office building. It's like I almost want to knock on the door and say, yeah, what floor is my ass doctor on?
You know what? I'm looking at the house. If it would say like plastic surgery center or something on
exactly.
it, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this is so nice.
Yeah, or dentist office.
Yes.
Or you know, you got the root canal doctor up on the second floor.
Mm-hmm.
You got the ass doctor on the third floor.
Both ends.
Both ends. The proctologist.
Looks like a cool house to me.
MJ, you don't like modern houses.
Well, listen,
that's not your thing.
There are some modern houses that, for instance, there's a modern right around the corner, and this is on Sandpiper in Beach Park, and there's a modern on the other side of that loop that just sold for like $12 million, and that's a decent looking modern house.
Mm-hmm. Jennifer Dale's, yeah.
As far as houses go, that house was not a bad looking house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't gravitate to moderns typically, but that's a nice looking modern, the one that sold for $12 million. This one that the Lightning player just bought, and I'll tell you who the Lightning player is, Sergachev. So everyone knows who this dude is. So Mikhail Sergachev, he's been with the Lightning for a while, 5-7 years or something.
Since he joined him in 2017.
2017?
Mm-hmm.
So he's been around for a while, and he just dropped $9 million on this house in Beach Park. And again, I've watched this house go up. I've watched it finished. And I'm like, oh, my God, yuck on a stick.
But have you seen it from the inside, or you've just seen it from the outside?
I just see it from the outside. It looks like they're doing research on monkeys in the place. I mean, it's...
Yes, welcome to the laboratory.
I mean, it just doesn't look like a home. I'm sorry.
This is what they're doing. They have a floating staircase inside, a climate-controlled wine cellar. They have a waterfront
I don't care what's
flex
inside.
room, a movie theater.
The outside has the curb appeal of a Lego building that my kids built when they were 2. I mean,
Julian might actually have designed this with Legos back in the day.
I mean, it's not a good looking house for $9 million. Give me a little bit of curb appeal is all I'm saying.
It's just clean looking.
It's not. It looks like a freaking office building for for medical folks.
That's your opinion.
If this guy was going to open up...
Oh, thank you, Froggy.
Listen, I think it's a pretty fresh looking house.
If this guy was going to open a very bougie looking Cube Mart, those big buildings where you have storage inside?
You know what? Carvana looks like it display cars in there. Who's got the Tower of Cars?
Carvana.
It's Carvana.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes,
That's called a car vending machine.
This house looks like a car vending machine. Is what it looks like.
Dude, if Sergachev hung his car from like the 3rd story, that'd be dope.
Hold on a sec. Michelle just sent me a text.
What does she have to say about it?
She doesn't think I ought to be talking about my taste in houses.
Well, yeah, I mean, some people probably think your house is ugly.
Yeah, hey, listen, maybe so. Listen, different strokes, different folks, but I'm able to, exercise my opinion. $9 million, and it looks like a periodontist's office.
Is that a golf cart garage off to the side?
Uh-huh.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, just because your house has like a pirate theme, like a shanty.
Yo ho, MJ lives here.
My house does not have a pirate theme.
Rock the plank to my front door.
No pirate theme
He
in
has
my
an
house.
animated pirate at the front. State your business. Walk the plank.
Animatronic Johnny Depp.
9:21 at the MJ Morning Show. So listen, if I ever see Sergachev out front, I'll probably refrain from telling him I think his house is pretty ugly.
Punch you.
But I'll get
Knock your teeth out.
I'll get checked. I'll get body checked, or I'll get slashed with a stick.
All right, so
slashing.
So from the front of the house, you can see the staircase. Does that mean if you walk by his house like at 7:30 in the morning, you see him walking down in his underwear?
Yeah, and his jock.
That's the thing with those moderns. Yeah. It does actually. I'm trying to find the building, but it does look very similar to where I had my colonoscopy and where I went for all my old lady doctor appointments when I was pregnant.
Roxanne had her colonoscopy in a medical building that looks like this, like Sergeyev's new house.
Yeah, and my advanced maternal doctor was in the same building. It does kind of look similar.
Just look at that. So you had multiple doctor's appointments in that building,
checking out various parts,
which looks like Sergeyev's house. Looks like a medical office. All right, 9:22 at the MJ Morning Show. On Q105. All right, final chunk of the show. We got to get into the latest on the Tupac arrest. Britney Spears, and let me just lighten around a lot when we get back, and we'll also give away Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets next as well. Here in the 9 o'clock hour, MJ Morning Show here on Q105, and we are back in minutes. If you're 31 at the MJ Morning Show. And ladies and gentlemen, you have just entered the final award-winning chunk of the program. Also coming up in just a matter of minutes, we have Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets. You know, I have never seen them, but I have heard people rave about because what it is, I'm always away. I'm always like skiing, where the concerts typically happen for Trans-Siberian Orchestra locally when we've already broken for Christmas break. So I've never actually gone, but everyone I know that's gone, they love Trans-Siberian. They're like just an amazing show.
It's a hot ticket.
And we have your tickets. We'll give away a pair in just a matter of minutes in the final chunk of the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. All right, no particular order, just a lot of ground to cover. I mean, I laughed out loud. Did you see the story over the weekend that Meghan Markle is going to pitch to become the replacement senator for Dianne Feinstein out in California? Are you freaking kidding me?
Senator Markle to you.
What is Meghan Markle, who's like wrecked the royal family, right?
Pretty much.
I mean, is this their latest attempt at like a publicity stunt?
I say she gets it.
She's not going to get the governor of California is not going to appoint Meghan Markle.
You never know.
Prince Harry's wife is not going to get a point. And besides, I think it's already been decided. Can you see what the latest is? Yeah, I haven't paid attention
today. Has he made his pick already?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, it's Fonzie.
Hey.
Yeah, Fonzie.
He's from Wisconsin.
Yeah, no, it's LaFonzi. I don't even know who the hell it is.
California senator.
Yeah. Some was saying, hey, Oprah.
He's from Wisconsin.
He was. They were from Milwaukee, right?
That's right.
Who's that?
Fonz.
The Fonz.
He's from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah, they're from Milwaukee.
Happy Days.
Yeah,
Happy
Days, yeah. And Laverne and Shirley.
Replacements.
Yeah, California senator. It's Here we go. It's, LaFonza Butler. So this.
LaFonza's the first name.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's the Fonz.
Oh, there's LaFonza. Okay, good.
So Gavin Newsom picked LaFonza Butler. I have no idea who she is, but it's not going to be Meghan Markle. But wait a minute. So if Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's royal wrecking wife, if she wasn't chosen, well, guess what? She has a plan. That with Dianne Feinstein dying out in California at the age of 90, and listen, for the last year, she didn't even know where she was. She had no idea how to vote, when to vote. She was in bad shape. And you've had, a lot of folks that have been circling, trying to, get appointed, because when in most states, if a senator, checks out, or
in all states, the governor gets to appoint the replacement.
I think there might be some variations, whether it's legislature or governor.
Ask Blagojevich about that.
All right, but well, listen, in a lot of states, the governor gets to pick the replacement until the next general election, until the next regular election. So Meghan Markle obviously has not been chosen, and she never was. But now they're making chatter that Meghan Markle might run for Senate from California. What? Come on.
I didn't know she had political dreams, aspirations.
She's delusional. Give me a break.
So Senator Butler has ties to former California Senator, current Vice President Kamala Harris, and good for them.
Well, there you go. So no Meghan Markle appointed. And then there were rumors that Oprah Winfrey could be chosen.
She's a California, she's a Chicagoan, right? She's not.
Well, she's from Chicago, but I think she has a house out in Mendocino, if I'm not mistaken. So she spends a lot of time. Tom Hanks.
Was he going to be senator?
No. This is a whole,
I remember when.
This is a whole different story.
I'd vote for Tom Hanks.
This is a whole different story.
Oh, okay.
Tom Hanks says, warning, some dental plan is using an AI Tom Hanks to push their dental plan. And Tom Hanks is saying, folks, heads up, that's not me, that's AI. I would imagine that Tom Hanks' attorneys might be able to get the hell on this thing and shut him down. But Tom Hanks went on Instagram yesterday, and he's warning his Instagram followers that he has absolutely zero to do with a promotional video pushing some kind of a dental plan. And he says that it was an AI, an artificial intelligence version of himself that is pushing this dental plan.
I want to see it.
I want to see him push like an auto repair plan, like Ice-T.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Ice-T, and for all my cars, I've got the whatever that auto plan is.
He does, though.
Meanwhile, he's got all new cars. Nothing's out of warranty, so why do you need the plan? He's got there's like a Rolls Royce in the garage, and it's like totally in warranty, and it's like, wait, what are you? Anyway, so Tom Hanks is saying, hey, heads up, I'm not promoting some dental program. It's without authorization. It's artificial intelligence. And, the question is, if they don't duplicate you exactly, but they use AI and they come up with an artificial intelligence generated graphic and it looks
somewhat like you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he posted an image of like a screenshot, and it has a very, very close similarity, but it's not exact. So
a lot of people look like Tom Hanks.
Does he say, hi, I'm Tom Hanks? Or is he like, Tom Banks?
Yeah.
I'm Tim Banks.
Just a heads up. Britney Spears, also on the celebrity front. Britney Spears says that she is sick and tired of people invading her privacy, like the fans that called the police that were worried about her dancing around with knives.
Oh, poor Britney.
Yeah. I mean, I like Britney Spears. Does she appear to have some issues psychologically? That's just my opinion. I hope that she finds peace. I hope she gets whatever help she needs. But yeah, she wants people to mind their own business. That's the latest that she said here. Yeah, so here's an item. Britney Spears blasting fans who called the police. She says that, quote, listen to this. She says that I've been bullied in my house for so long.
All right, I believe that.
But wait a minute. These aren't people bullying you, Britney. These are people that saw you running around in a bikini with knives, and you're doing the clinking noises like you're working at Benihana, and you got
The memes are incredible.
But the dogs are on the floor, so people worried that the dogs were going to get stabbed.
I mean, if you drop the knife, you just kill that dog.
Oh, yeah. But then Brittany also, she had a bandage on her wrist, almost like she cut herself. There was a cut on her thigh. So it's not that people are bullying you, Brittany. People are just concerned about your well-being. And incidentally, she's claiming the knives were not real.
Yeah, they're from that. She saved that prop shop.
Yeah, there's a story. Here's the second part of the story. That there's a store in L.A. called the Hand Prop Room.
That place looks so cool.
Is it really?
And
it's all movie props.
Well, here's the deal.
That's why it looks so good.
Yeah.
Listen, during the writer's strike and the actor's strike, production has been shut down. So this particular place, their business has gone to hell in a handbasket because they deal in all kinds of movie and TV props. Well, Brittany allegedly got these fake but very real-looking 12-inch kitchen knives from this place that I guess they're not sharp. They're like fake knives. And you can't cut yourself. And Brittany is now, because of her knife dance and her telling people that she got the fake knives at the Hand Prop Room, apparently their business has gone through the roof.
They have some amazingly realistic looking knives.
Yeah. So a lot of the knives that you see in movies and TV that might be used in death-defying scenes are not real knives. They're listen, it's like prop guns where no one gets hurt, like on the Alec Bolt. Hang on, sorry about that. Yeah,
bad example.
Yeah, too soon. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure somebody got hurt on that set.
Yeah, obviously. So the Hand Prop Room, they're saying that their business dropped over 50% because of the move. I'm sorry, more than 50%. And now the knives, they sell and they rent, and everything is up dramatically after Britney Spears did the knife dance in her
That's cool.
house.
Good for them. Look at Britney saving small business.
Really is beautiful.
Any thoughts on the arrest for the 90s shooting and murder of Tupac Shakur?
I have some questions about that.
1996. Can you believe that?
He's 60.
1996. Yeah. So, and Rox, we'll get to your questions in a second. So what happened essentially is they've been watching this guy for a while.
Oh, he would do all kinds of interviews on YouTube and just spill the beans about stuff.
Dude, this guy, Dwayne Keith D. Davis, he was doing interviews where he said he was in the vehicle with the person that opened fire on Tupac Shakur on the Vegas Strip back in 1996.
And didn't he have a memoir, too, that he talked about it in?
He was very, I think he thought, well, I think I got away with this.
I mean, come on. The guy's admitting he was in the car. So that dude has been arrested. We're talking 27 years later, and the murder of Tupac Shakur on the Vegas Strip. And wasn't it after like a boxing match or something?
After a Tyson fight.
There was a fight that they got, that the entourage with Tupac, they got into an argument with somebody else outside of the venue. Then they got into their cars, and it's a whole L.A. Crips Bloods deal because Davis, the guy that was just arrested outside of Las Vegas, I think he was in Henderson, like just right outside near Green Valley Ranch. So Davis was arrested last week. So Friday he was arrested for the murder of Tupac Shakur. Now Davis is connected to the Crips, which is Southside Compton Crips.
Okay, so you're answering my question.
So that's Crips.
My big question was motive.
But Tupac
was a Blood.
He was associated with the Bloods. So Crips, Bloods, blue, red. When I'm in Compton, I wear like one blue bandana and one red bandana.
Smart.
You're man of the people.
I wear purple bandana.
Purple.
Yeah,
That's
mix it together. I wear a purple bandana. So,
we went to California years ago as a morning show, and Hurricane and I wanted to go to Compton.
Oh, that's right.
And we told the engineer
straight out of
we told the engineer at the radio station, he's like, so what are you guys doing in Los Angeles? Like, we're going to Compton. And he's like, I've lived here 60 years and I've never been to Compton. Don't go. And we went. But he's like, I've never been there. I've lived there my whole life.
You guys rented one of those jumping low riders, didn't you?
We did. We did.
Well, like an old 60s Chevy Impala that
hydraulics.
Yeah, jumped up in the air and everything.
And we got shot at.
Yeah, wear your purple bandana like MJ and say you're part of the Blips, which is the Bloods and the Crips.
And then,
mashup.
Listen, finally here, before we get out of here, Taylor Swift, I'm a little tired of it.
It's too much.
It's not Taylor's fault.
Listen,
she just goes to the game. She's not asking for the camera to be on her the whole time.
Let me tell you right now. There is nothing Taylor Swift is doing, nothing, zero zilch that she's doing that is naturally occurring. Every single thing is orchestrated. That's the bottom line.
You think she picks those friends like strategically to go out with?
So she was seen in the skybox. It was the Chiefs-Jets game, which, by the way, that game should not have been that close.
Oh, my God. It was a good game.
It was. There's no way that the Chiefs and Jets game should have been that close. But Taylor Swift was hanging with Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman and Blake Lively.
How did Hugh Jackman get in that group?
Yeah, right? I was thinking the same thing. And Sophie Turner.
Sophie
Turner.
And that's Sophie
David
Turner.
Thrones.
Joe Jonas's estranged husband, right?
Yes, correct. Correct. Because I think she's living with her.
Estranged wife, whatever.
And Susan Boyle was with him.
She spent most of the game next to Patrick Mahomes' wife with her high-waisted red leather pants.
Yeah, we're blinking right now. Did you see that, MJ?
What?
We're blinking.
All the lights in here are blinking.
Are we on the air still?
Yeah, we are. It's just the equipment's just blinking like I don't know what's going on.
You know what? Sometimes I feel like it's like orchestrated, just because then I wonder if the NFL is working with her to get like younger listeners in a certain demographic, right? Or viewers, I should say.
She turned the NFL down to do the halftime show.
Yep.
NFL hates her guts. She's at every one of the games.
So Taylor Swift was also seen coming out of her apartment with Travis Kelce.
I like how they're called trailer. It's really an attractive.
Apparently, allegedly he spent the night at her apartment in New York City.
Is that the name, trailer?
That's what they have up there.
Yeah, so Travis and Taylor, it's not trailer.
That's what everybody's saying.
It's called trailer trash. What do you think? You like? We're out of here, folks. Let me give away the Trans-Siberian Orchestra tickets, folks. These are great tickets, great seats. This is a great event. If you would like to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra Saturday, December 23rd at Amalie, tickets are yours right now. Let's go with caller 21, 800-990-1047, 800-990-1047, and you've got the tickets. And good luck. Folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show. You need to get a hold of me. I'm MJ at MJMorningshow.com via email, or you can DM me and follow my Instagram at Certified MJ Radio. And we'll see you back here tomorrow, folks, and let's be careful out there.